Welcome to Anime T23, where we dive deep into the most intriguing what-if scenarios in the anime universe. In today's episode, in a world where he was cast aside, ignored, and neglected, Naruto Uzumaki is about to uncover the darkest secrets of his lineage and awaken the most dangerous eyes the world has ever seen. But will the power of the Sharingan save him from the village's scorn, or will it consume him entirely? What if Naruto was neglected by his family and had the strongest Sharingan? Part 5. Flashback, and Jutsu line Kadamaru took a deep breath as he attempted to concentrate. Thanks to ability of having 4 arms, he was having a much easier time holding up the barrier. Though he knew that wouldn't be enough, Lord Orochimaru must hurry. I don't know how much longer we can hold this. It takes too much chakra and precision. How long can we last? 5, 10 minutes at most. Then suddenly he felt a tug at the center of his nose. What the hell? Suddenly the tug got stronger, and he suddenly felt his face slightly twist to the left. What the hell is this? Kadamaru's screaming had caught the attention of his other 3 teammates. They all managed to turn and witness the gruesome power of Naruto's Kamui. They all watched as Kadamaru's screams decreased, and his head slowly begun to shrink. Then it came all at once. Kadamaru's arm dropped from their former position as he slumped back with no head. Blood poured all over the area, and the barrier begun to come apart. Lying Naruto closed his eye, and more blood begun to drip from his eye. The little dribble that only fell to the bottom of his cheekbone had reached all the way to the bottom of his chin. Naruto reopened his eye, revealing he had deactivated his Sharingan. Yet, when one looked into his eye, you could easily make out the veins that had appeared. You don't have much tea time before Orochimaru attempts to escape. This is your CH chance, old man. I PR promised to look after Kanemaru, so I have no regrets, stuttered Naruto as he leaned forward to grab Sarutobi's arm. Sarutobi looked down at Naruto, always thinking of others aren't you, Naruto. I guess that never changed about you. Naruto didn't reply, and suddenly he gave the third a hug. The third whispered a few words, and he let go of Naruto. Yugao watched as the third Hokage made his way to the battle. Then suddenly she attempted to grab Naruto. Let's go, Naruto. We need to get you out of here. I see CNM manage on MMY own, replied Naruto as he attempted to stand. Yugao sighed and grabbed Naruto. There's no weakness in accepting others' help, Naruto. I guess you still have some things to learn. Naruto didn't reply, as Yugao slung him over his shoulder like some beach towel. As Yugao raced to take Naruto to the nearest safe zone, Naruto's gaze was glued to the top of the roof. Even though all he seemed to see was a blur, he could still see the death god as clear as day. Naruto closed his eyes, unaware to Yugao. His right eye also begun to bleed. Minato was in slight shock as he watched his left arm hit the ground. Though the appearance of Tobimaru following up his attack brought his senses back to reality. I need to move. Then suddenly he could once again sense his flying Raijin tags. Then in an instant he was behind Orochimaru. Orochimaru's eyes widened as he watched Minato disappear. They managed to bring down the barrier? Then suddenly his back was slammed with a Rasengan. He quickly decided to use his skin-shedding technique. As he escaped the fury of Minato's Rasengan, he quickly jumped behind his Edo Tensei. You got lucky there, Minato, but it won't be any longer. You only have 1 arm left, so I've neglected you from most of your jutsu arsenal. Though your 2 most powerful techniques are still available to you. Minato glared at Orochimaru as he attempted to stop the bleeding. Damn you! Orochimaru chuckled. Now dies. The 2 Edo Tensei Hokages rushed forward, but suddenly they were stopped by 2 shadow clones. The shadow clones jumped directly in front of them and grabbed their shoulders. Then suddenly the shadow clones popped, and the 2 Hokages suddenly turned into pieces of paper, revealing a boy and girl. Orochimaru's eyes widened. What just occurred? Your death, Orochimaru felt someone grasp his shoulder, and then felt a tug at the depth of his stomach. As he turned around, his eyes truly widened in terror, as they gazed upon the death god towering over Hiruzen Sarutobi. Minato watched in shock as he watched his predecessor use a familiar jutsu. There's no way. Sarup boy, did you use that jutsu? Hiruzen looked down at his successor. I had no choice. It must be done. Minato dropped to one's knee as the effects of missing an arm took place. It's my duty as Hokage. Don't be foolish, Minato. You have family to take care. It's time you properly looked after them. Don't make the same mistakes I made, Minato. You've been given a chance by not only your son, but you also have another kid coming. Screamed Sarutobi, I am old. My time is long since past. Minato met Hiruzen's gaze, but before he could reply, do you truly believe you have the power to take away my soul? If you were a few years younger, yes, but now, it's impossible, screamed Orochimaru as he turned around to pull his spirit back. Then he did the great mistake of looking into Sarutobi's eye. As he gazed upon the eye, he watched as it morphed into an 8-rounded star. Then suddenly he felt his whole body shiver. Lying, Orochimaru suddenly felt himself chained to a giant table. Then suddenly a voice brought him to his senses. You desire the power of the Sharingan? Then allow me to show you its fullest potential. Orochimaru growled, Who is this? What the hell have you done? Orochimaru's question was answered as Naruto appeared from the shadows. I will make you pay for going after the all-this uchiha, and marking Sasuke with the cursed mark. Orochimaru looked up at Naruto's Sharingan. Why you have the Mangekyo Sharingan? A mere Namikaze managed to unlock it? How is that even possible? A full-blooded uchiha is rare enough. Naruto ignored him. Welcome to my genjutsu known as Tsukuyomi, where I control space and the perception of time. 24 hours will pass in here, while in the real world only a moment will pass. Orochimaru's eyes narrowed. What? I heard you like to experiment on people, Orochimaru. Allow me to give you a dose of your own medicine. Orochimaru screamed as his stomach was suddenly cut in two. Line, I forgive you, Sarutobi blinked as the words echoed in his head. Believing it to be his imagination, he simply ignored it. What's going on? As he tried to sort out his thoughts, suddenly felt Orochimaru's resistance loosen. Damn you, Naruto! Screamed Orochimaru as his breathing suddenly increased and sweat drenched his body. Then in an instant he pulled out his former student's soul. He heard the curse up to the moment he finally did it. As both he and his student fell to the ground, a smile covered the third's face. So, that was your doing, Naruto. Thanks to you, I've managed to finally redeem myself. I just hope you manage to forgive me. The third Hokage gave his last breath, and a seal appeared on top of his stomach that line as Naruto rode on Yugao's shoulder. He recalled the third's words as he slowly slipped into unconsciousness. I can see the pain hidden in your eyes. That visual prowess is proof of it. I'm sorry as third Hokage, and your friend I couldn't save your beloved Shursui, or the rest of the Uchiha. I feel like I could have done more, but as always I hesitated. I hesitated once with Orochimaru, I hesitated with Danzo, and I hesitated with the Uchiha. I hope you can come to forgive me, Naruto. Now do I realize the pain caused to you by the mistakes in my life. Naruto let out a tear and mouthed, I forgive you, and I've always have. 1 week later, Naruto took a deep breath as he felt himself awaken. He attempted to open his eyes, to realize there was a bandage over them. Slowly pulling himself up, he undid the bandage. As the bandage fell from his eyes, he gazed upon the room. Naruto was slightly surprised as he could make out the words on a medical poster. I can't believe it actually works. My eyes have healed themselves. Naruto rubbed his eyes and took a look around the room. His eyes fell upon a table filled with mostly flowers and cards. Then a large orange card caught his eye. Slowly getting up from his bed, he grabbed it. From Haruka, Naruto smiled slightly. So she's fine. Naruto opened up the card. Dear Naruto, I'm still very mad you caught me under a genjutsu. Then a very badly drawn image of her angry was drawn by it. But I'm glad you're okay. I hope you get better soon, so we can go get ice cream. And this time I will buy it for you. Get better soon. Your favorite sister, Haruka Naruto chuckled. At least she's fine. You can come out. Naruto didn't lift his head, as someone came out of the shadows. When did you notice me? The moment the curtains move. They aren't supposed to move when there's no wind, Yugao, replied Naruto. Yugao just grinned. You're good. And that's good. Naruto raised an eyebrow. That's good? What do you mean by that? Yugao pulled out a scroll and tossed it at Naruto. You've been invited to Anbu Black Ops. You've been approved by the Hokage. All that's left is for you to do is accept. Go to the place indicated on the scroll in 3 days. That's if you wish to go. Naruto was a bit suspicious. I thought I had to be at least Chunin, and I don't think my father would allow me to enter at the age of 13. Yugao cocked her head. That's right, you've been out of it for almost a week. You and 3 other Genin have been promoted to Chunin, so congratulations. As for Minato Namikaze, he is no longer Hokage. Naruto's eyes widened as he began to recall the invasion. You're right. So what happened? Before Yugao could respond, I'll answer that. Tsunade walked into the room with a clipboard. Yugao quickly stood up straight. Lady Hokage. Tsunade silently walked over to Naruto's bedside. Yugao, it seems you've already given Naruto the invitation. Yes, my lady. Tsunade looked up from her clipboard and motioned Naruto to come closer. Naruto, a bit curious, did exactly that. Then Tsunade raised her hand and flicked his forehead. Crash, Naruto slammed into the wall behind him, causing a small dent. Yugao's eyes. Lady Hokage? What the hell, Grandma? Screamed Naruto as he pulled himself out. That's for being so damn reckless. Do you know how close you were from going blind? Yelled Tsunade. Naruto stayed silent for a moment. So you know? No? Know about your Mangekyo Sharingan? Questioned Tsunade. Naruto didn't reply as Tsunade grabbed him closer. Secrets are what get you killed, Naruto. Secrets cause wedges between people. Secrets are what enable one to help each other. You're lucky that you inherited your mother's chakra. If you hadn't, you would still be suffering from the effects. Tsunade continued to glare Naruto down. If you join ANBU, there is one condition. Unless approved by your captain, you're forbidden from using the Mangekyo again. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Tsunade looked back down at her clipboard. Now for your earlier question. A lot has happened. Your father was relieved from his duties because his whole left arm was severed off. The daimyo marked him as unfit to be Hokage, and I was nominated. Shikamaru Nara, Sasuke Uchiha, and you've been given on-field promotions to Chunin. There were many losers, but I don't believe any close to you. Besides the third. Tsunade looked for any response, but none came from Naruto. You will be released later today, and if you wish to join the MBU, you will begin your duties in 3 days. Tsunade sighed and headed for the door. I'm not trying to punish you, Naruto, but we both know the danger behind that visual power. As soon as Tsunade left, Yugao spoke up. I didn't think it was that serious. Naruto sighed. Sadly it is. I'll be going, and good luck, Naruto. After Yugao left, Naruto laid back down. I know the dangers of my own power. She didn't need to forbid me from using them. Lying a few hours later, Naruto walked out of the hospital in his new Chunin uniform. Even though he would have loved to wear something else, he had nothing else at the hospital. Walking down the street, he searched for someone. I wonder where Kakashi or Yamato could be. They both were in ANBU. Maybe they could give me some advice. As he walked further into the village, he was surprised by the amount of damage. I knew the fight extended deep into the village, but this is more than I expected. Out of now where he felt an extra weight on his back. Big brother. Naruto turned around and looked at Haruka on his shoulders. Haruka, how have you been? Good, of course. How about you? You looked so beat up in the hospital, responded Haruka as her voice quieted down. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. It's nothing I can't handle. Ouch! Naruto grabbed the back of his head. What was that for? Haruka glared at him. I could have helped you know. You didn't have to trap me under a genjutsu and have Ken carry me away. Naruto looked her in the eye. You're just a stubborn, Haruka. Haruka pouted. Am not R2, am not R2, am not R2, hey, screamed Haruka. You tricked me. Suddenly Katashi, Ken, and Daidachi came running from behind. You can run off like that, Haruka, yelled Ken. We're supposed to stay as a group. Haruka put her tongue out. Big brother is here, so I don't need to be with you losers. Why you? Yelled Ken. Katashi held him back. She obviously trying to get a rise from you. Shut up, Katashi. You and your smug attitude, yelled Ken. Naruto looked down at the trio. Ken brash as always, I suppose. Ken looked up at Naruto. I'm not brash. Then suddenly Daidachi let out a chuckle. Yeah, you are. Then suddenly everyone laughed, while Ken cried anime tears. Is that you, Naruto? As Naruto turned to his side, he gazed upon Azura and Miyuki. Surprised seeing you guys around. You got promoted? Asked Azura. Naruto smirked. Sasuke and I both did. Azura grunted. Well, you better. You did defeat me. If you hadn't, something must have been wrong with the system. Don't flatter yourself, Azura, spoke Miyuki, and she struck her hand out. I'm Miyuki. Naruto met her hand, Naruto. And I remember you from Sasuke's fight in the preliminaries. Miyuki sighed. I know that damn Sasuke wouldn't shut up about his promotion. How did he get promoted? Asked Naruto. Why don't you just ask me? Naruto smiled. This must be some sort of family reunion. We're just missing Aiko. She's on a mission, announced Haruka. I see. By the way, how did you get promoted? Asked Naruto. Sasuke shrugged his shoulders. Yakumo Sai Mito, and I managed to defeat the Sans Jinchuriki, though I managed to knock some sense in his head. Thanks to that, and my earlier performance, I was promoted. We get it. You too got promoted. Now let's go get something to eat, yelled Ken. Katashi smacked him across the head. Be a bit quieter, you idiot. Why you dash? Let's get some ice cream, yelled Haruka. Miyuki and Azura nodded. Naruto and Sasuke are paying. All of a sudden, everyone begun agreeing expect Naruto and Sasuke. Why us? Asked Naruto. Miyuki smirked. Well, you two are Chunin, so you get paid higher. Rank doesn't matter. That difficulty of the mission does, argued Sasuke. Haruka jumped on Naruto's back too late. Naruto and Sasuke sighed as they were dragged to the nearest ice cream shop. As everyone ordered their own order, Sasuke pulled Naruto outside. I need to tell you something. What is it? Asked Naruto. Sasuke closed his eyes and reopened them, revealing the 3 tomo of his Sharingan. Naruto smirked. Congrats. That's not it. I want to take a look at the shrine, replied Sasuke. Naruto's expression turned serious. I've already told you what's on it. The secret to unlocking the Mangekyo Sharingan. You're not seriously considering it. That's not it. I just feel the need to take a look, replied Sasuke. Naruto nodded. I get it. Just don't do anything foolish. You know where it is. Yeah, replied Sasuke. Surprised seeing you two around here. Kakashi Sensei. I was looking for you earlier, replied Naruto. Kakashi rose an eyebrow. What for? Before Naruto could answer, Asuma and Kurenai walked over. Kakashi, Sasuke, Naruto. How have you been, Naruto? I heard they had you cooped up at the hospital. Good. You two are awfully friendly today, pointed out Kakashi. Kurenai coughed, and a blush appeared on her face. Don't be a fool. Enko asked me to pick up some dumplings, that's all. I just happened to run into Asuma. What are you doing out here, Kakashi? Asked Asuma. I was taking a stroll. When I ran into Sasuke and Naruto, replied Kakashi as his lone, I fell upon a dumpling shop behind him. Naruto had gotten the secret message, and also directed his attention to the shop, where 2 clock figures were sitting. Spies. So, where are you heading then? Going to go visit Obito, replied Asuma. Kakashi responds, yes, but that would be much later. Naruto and Sasuke needed something. Naruto watched as the 2 figures expertly left the shop. Sasuke, who hadn't caught on, was a bit confused. Then suddenly Asuma. Kurenai exchanged a nod with Kakashi and disappeared. Naruto reached in his pocket and handed money over to Sasuke. Pay with this, Sasuke. I need to get home. My mom is probably going to kill me for not going straight home. Sasuke didn't get a chance to reply. Naruto formed a hand seal and disappeared. Kakashi gazed at his spot. He caught on. That was weird. I'll see you later, Kakashi-sensei, replied Sasuke as he returned to the shop. Then Kakashi also too disappeared. The two cloaked figures hurried across the edge of the long river. When suddenly Asuma and Kurenai appeared in front of them, the gigs up, "Who are you two?" "It's been a long time." "Asuma and Kurenai," replied the shorter one. Asuma pulled out his weapon. "The fact that you know our names means you were a ninja formerly of this village." The one who had responded tilted his straw hat upwards, revealing his Sharingan. A look of panic rushed over Asuma and Kurenai. Then the man took off his hat. Asuma twitched a bit. Itachi uchiha? "Friends of yours, Itachi?" asked the taller figure. He also took off his hat. "I'm Kisame Hashigaki, formerly from the village hidden in the mist. One of the legendary swordsmen off the mist. We know about you too, Kisame. You're wanted in your country for traitorous acts and for killing a daimyo," replied Kurenai. "I must say, Itachi, you have guts for showing your head around here after what you did," announced Asuma. "I don't want to kill you, so get out of my way," replied Itachi. "Funny coming from you. By the way, what are you doing in this village?" asked Asuma. "That doesn't concern you," replied Itachi. Asuma smirked as he placed his two blades forward. "Then I'm just going to have to beat it from you." "Can I kill him, Itachi?" asked Kisame with a devilish look on his face. "I guess we aren't leaving here without a fight." Kurenai and Asuma glared down at Itachi and Kisame as they entered battle. Naruto watched from the trees as Kurenai was suddenly kicked onto the river. He was about to move when he felt a hand on his shoulder. "What?" Kakashi appeared from behind. "Are you sure about this?" Naruto looked down at Itachi. "Yeah. Take Itachi and I'll take Kisame." Naruto nodded, and he shunshined to the battlefield. "As expected of you, Kurenai." However, Itachi didn't finish as he had the presence of someone behind him. "However, this is as far as you go," announced Naruto. Kurenai looked at Naruto with a ridiculous look. "Naruto?" "Water release." "Shark bomb jutsu." "Water release." Shark bomb jutsu. Suddenly the collision of both jutsus disturbed the water. Kisame gave an astonished look. "The same technique?" "No, he copied it." "That eye." "So there is another man with the same crazy eye as you, Itachi." Itachi looked over at Kakashi and Asuma. "Kakashi, Itachi, and you, Naruto. It's been a long time." "It sure is, my old friend," replied Naruto as he stood behind Itachi with kunai at hand. Itachi was taken a bit back by Naruto's remark. Then Kisame broke the ice. "So, Kakashi, I heard you had it out with that kid Zabuza a while back." "Yeah, I did," responded Kakashi. "Kisame, I grew in anger." "Then give me the pleasure to kill you." "Kisame, do not forget our goal," replied Itachi. Kisame snorted, and Kakashi asked, "Spill it. What's this goal of yours?" Naruto's mind had begun to form an idea. Could it be I misjudged Itachi? What if he's after the internal light? I can let him get to any of them. Itachi looked at Kisame. "Allow me to take care of this. You tend to capture too much attention. My way is more efficient." Kakashi's eyes widened. "He's going after Naruto first." He was about to step forward, but Kisame blocked his path. "If you interfere, then I'll have to step in. 2-on-1 is unfair enough." Then suddenly Itachi's pulled out 4 shuriken. Naruto's eyes widened, and he activated his Sharingan. Jumping back, he formed a quick session of hand seals. Water release. Triangle water wall formation jutsu. Suddenly 3 walls of water surrounded Naruto in a triangular shape. Then suddenly 4 torrents of water exploded from the ground. As both jutsus collapsed, Naruto stood there taking a deep breath. Those shuriken were just a distraction. If I had not noticed the chakra in the water, I would be already finished. Itachi looked down at Naruto. So you've already mastered your Sharingan? Impressive. But is it enough? Naruto suddenly felt a kunai stuck into the back of his back. A shadow clone? Kurenai was amazed. His jutsu speed is just a fast. Kakashi clenched his fist. I need to do something. Itachi, is this one of the brats you spared? Don't seem like they were worth it. If they're as weak as this... Naruto suddenly grinned. Don't underestimate me. Then he burst into a cloud of shuriken. Itachi's eyes widened. Shuriken? Then Itachi's clone poofed out of existence. Then suddenly Naruto appeared behind Itachi with sword at hand. He quickly sliced Itachi, but to his dismay he burst into a cloud of birds. Fire release. Great fireball jutsu, not too far behind Naruto. Itachi unleashed his technique. Naruto tried to move, but he was still in midair. As he turned to move, he suddenly made eye contact with Kisame. That's it. Kisame, having dropped his guard, made the mistake of looking Naruto in the eye. Then suddenly he flashed through a series of hand seals. This alerted Kakashi, and he suddenly dropped back. Then Kisame did the unthinkable. Water release. Shark bomb jutsu. Itachi's fireball was extinguished by Kisame, and Naruto fell safely into the water. Kisame suddenly blinked. That brat. Itachi shook his head. Kisame, you fell for such a simple genju. Don't drop your guard. Naruto suddenly appeared near Asuma's, and Kakashi's side with Kurenai. Kisame suddenly growled and raced towards the group. He brought down his sword with immense speed. The four ninja jumped away, but they watched the results of Kisame's sword. It completely shattered the cement sidewalk. The four ninja landed in the water, and the Akatsuki duo regrouped. Kisame smiled. This brat is better than I thought. Allow me to take care of him, Itachi. No, Kisame growled. Why not? I'm going to be the one to teach him a lesson. Naruto, it's true you have grown at a phenomenal rate. But allow me to show you the difference between your Sharingan and mine, replied Itachi. Kisame smiled. So he riled you up too? To think you would be so hasty with those eyes, Itachi. Kakashi suddenly screamed. It can't be. Don't look into his eyes. Whatever you do, don't look into his eyes. Naruto closed his eyes. There's no need. As long as I'm here, you don't have to worry. Itachi shook his head. Your eyes can't withstand my Mangekyo Sharingan. Kakashi watched as Itachi's eyes morphed into the three slightly edge-curved pinwheel. Then Naruto stepped forward. I believe they do, Mangekyo Sharingan. Itachi's eyes widened in shock as he watched Naruto's Sharingan morph into an 8-rounded star. Kakashi also stood shocked. That's impossible. No! Kakashi, it's totally possible. As long as I'm here, I can break any Mangekyo Sharingan. Tsukuyomi or Kodo Akatsuki, replied Naruto. Asuma and Kurenai slowly opened their eyes. What's this Mangekyo Sharingan? Asked Asuma. Kisame chuckled. I can't believe it. This brat unlocked that level of power. Now I'm itching to fight him. Kakashi sighed. I don't know much, but I know that it's a forbidden stage of the Sharingan. Only a true heir of the Sharingan can unlock its power. When unlocked, one can achieve visual power to control even the 9-tailed fox. You know awfully a lot for a non-uchiha, Kakashi, spoke Itachi. Yet that isn't even a fraction of the story. Is it Naruto? Naruto gripped his sword. Of course not. That's only the good parts. Good parts? Asked Kurenai. Kisame answered. Why do you think it's forbidden? There must be a reason. Can you guess why? The three ninja behind Naruto stayed silent as Naruto looked down at his feet. Then Kakashi asked, What is it? You must kill you, best friend, replied Itachi, and then a gusty cold wind passed through. Kakashi, Asuma, Kurenai stood in shock. Kurenai's eye twitched. Kill your best friend? Yes, answered Naruto. That's why forbidden. Only that type of guilt and emotional pain is enough to trigger the Mangekyo. Though even that isn't half of it. There's another secret. Right, Itachi? Another secret? I was unaware, pointed out Kisame. What is it? Is that why you are here, Itachi? Are you after the eternal light? Did you come back to achieve that? Tell me, shouted Naruto. Itachi shook his head. I'm not after the eternal light. Eternal light? Asked Kakashi. Naruto looked back at the three, revealing to them his Mangekyo. Kakashi shivered slightly. Naruto, how did you receive this eyes? All I can see are your cold and guilty eyes. Kisame warned Itachi about the usage of his eyes for a reason. The more you use it, the faster your eyes are sealed. The cost for such visual power is complete blindness. But there's a way to achieve a perfect Mangekyo Sharingan. The eternal light, answered Naruto. I don't understand. You make it sound like such a bad thing. Wouldn't you want that? Asked Kurenai. Kakashi shook his head. Imagine it, Kurenai. If achieving such power cost the life of your best friend, you would imagine more power to be more costly. I honestly can't believe you know this much, Naruto. As you guessed, Kakashi, it does cost more, responded Itachi. In order to unlock the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, one must steal someone else's Mangekyo, replied Naruto. In most situations, it's best for it to be a very close blood relative. Kakashi suddenly understood the situation. Sasuke? Is that why you allowed them to live? How cruel. The Uchiha clan sure is fucked up, said Kisame. I already told you I'm not after Sasuke. I'm after the fort's legacy, replied Itachi. Kakashi and Naruto froze. Mito? I know exactly who you are now. You're part of a group of 10 S-rank ninja, known as the Akatsuki. I also know that you are gathering the Biju. I can't believe they've already came knocking around, revealed Kakashi. What the hell? Asked Kisame. Akatsuki? Asked Kurenai, Asuma, and Naruto. Itachi frowned. Of course you must have heard of it from Jiraiya. Kisame, we are leaving now. We didn't come to fight a full-scale battle. You think I'm just gonna let you run? Don't underestimate me, shouted Naruto. Naruto, calm down, shouted Kakashi. Naruto's Mangekyo Sharingan spinned. Kamui. Kisame was shocked as he felt a huge tug at the point of his head. What the hell? Damn it, Naruto. You give me no choice, thought Itachi as he focused his eye on the leaf ninja. Amaterasu. Naruto's eyes widened as he watched the black flame engulf him. His concentration on Kisame slipped, and instead of warping his head, he got his left hand. Kisame growled out loud, I'm gonna kill you. Naruto ignored his screams as he quickly dived for the water. As he slipped underneath the surface of the water, he still felt the hot flame all over his body. It's not getting put out. Naruto broke the surface and shouted in agony. Kakashi looked over at the black flames. What is that? Asuma quickly shouted at Kakashi, put it out with a water-release jutsu. Itachi reopened his right eye and revealed the strain in his eye. This is my Mangekyo Sharingan technique, Amaterasu, the inextinguishable black flame that will burn for 7 days and 7 nights. There's nothing you can do for him now. Kurenai looked at the black flame. Impossible. Then suddenly the black flame began to distort, and in a few seconds it was gone. Naruto stood up, Chunin jacket completely destroyed. His undershirt was burned apart and was holding up by a few threads. So, that the Amaterasu. What a deadly jutsu. Itachi looked at Naruto, eyes slightly widened. You know that's impossible. I thought you said those flames were unstoppable. Itachi, growled Kisame as he grabbed onto his left hand. Kakashi looked over at Kisame's hand. It happened so fast. And what happened to his hand? Itachi looked at Kisame's hand. So, that's how it is? Kisame picked up his sword. I'm tired of this Itachi. I'll kill him right now. Itachi looked at Kisame. Kisame wide dash. Kisame didn't listen as he rushed forward. Naruto watched as Kisame ran up to him. Trying to move, he slipped. I took too much damage. My movements have slowed down. Then suddenly Asuma appeared and managed to block his strike. Naruto, move. Naruto, not wasting a second, rolled to his right, and Asuma jumped out of the way. Kisame slammed his sword into the water, causing a huge tide of water to knock over Naruto. Not wasting another second, he was upon him once more. Naruto gritted his teeth, and then his right eye spun backwards. Kamui. Then in an instant Kisame was covered in the black flame. Kakashi, Asuma, and Kurenai all gasped. He can use that technique too? Naruto jumped back to the three Jonins. Are you guys all right? You should be asking that to yourself, Naruto. You don't look exactly great, replied Kakashi. Kurenai spoke. You can use that crazy black flame technique too? Can anyone with those eyes use it? Naruto didn't reply. Then the soft voice of Itachi filled the air. It's possible he could use that technique, but that's not the case here. Itachi suddenly walked over to Kisame and stared him down with his left eye. Then suddenly the black flames begun to distinguish. That's the first time I've ever had to stop Amaterasu. It takes a lot more chakra just to stop it. Looking at Kisame's condition, I must retreat. Itachi grabbed Kisame and slung him over his shoulder. That technique he used wasn't the Amaterasu, or its counterpart that can stop it. I don't know what it is exactly, but I believe that whatever that jutsu is allows you to absorb or seal anything caught in your line of sight. Just earlier you managed to rip off Kisame's hand. Then you sealed the Amaterasu into your eye, and then unseal it onto Kisame. My understanding is that your left eye allows you to capture anything in your line of sight, while your right eye allows you to capture anything you touch. Naruto narrowed his eyes. You managed to figure out that much in just 2 attacks? Itachi smirked. I'll look forward to fighting you again, Naruto. Then suddenly Itachi disappeared. Naruto's breathing became a bit heavy. I can't believe I let him get away. Asuma suddenly sighed, and he pulled out a cigarette. So, was that all true? Yes, that technique of mine is known as Kamui, but it's more complicated than that, replied Naruto. Kakashi pulled down his headband. Let's get you to the medical center. You need to get those burns looked at. You're not going to question me, asked Naruto as he deactivated his Sharingan. Kakashi didn't reply right away. I'm sure there's a reason behind your story. Naruto didn't reply as Kakashi grabbed him and shunshined out of there. Lying Naruto sat once again in a hospital bed. Is it my bad luck to always be strapped to one of these? Then suddenly the door swung open. He didn't get a chance to look up as his vision was stuffed with red hair. My baby! Are you all right? Screamed Kushina. Not even an hour out of the hospital, and you're back in here. Naruto didn't reply as he looked at his mom. She's also a Jinchuriki. Will they go after her too? I'm fine, Mom. He was suddenly whacked in the head. Fine? You just had to go pick a fight, Naruto. I mean, why did you just let Asuma, Kurenai, and Kakashi handle it? Just because you've become a Chunin doesn't mean you have to go fight the first enemy ninja you see. Mito suddenly walked in from behind. Take it easy, Mom, or else they're going to have to keep him overnight. Again, Kushina glared at Mito. You aren't exactly out of the clear, Missy. Mito and Kushina suddenly fell into a discussion, and Naruto just looked at both of them. They obviously haven't been informed who and why I fought them. Should I tell them? Naruto was going to speak, when suddenly Sasuke walked into the room. Naruto, is it true? You fought Itachi. Did you? Came 2 voices from behind, revealing both Miyuki and Izura. Kushina looked over at Naruto. Itachi? Our Itachi. Sasuke glared a bit. Yes. I heard that you fought him. What happened? Suddenly Kakashi came running behind him. Sasudash. I see you're already here. Naruto looked over at Kakashi. I thought you wanted to keep this information top secret. Telling Sasuke isn't exactly keeping things top secret. Kakashi sighed. He walked in during our conversation. Sasuke's eyes widened. So he was here. Where did he go? It feudal Sasuke he's gone, replied Naruto, and I couldn't do anything to stop him. He's just too strong. Mito looked around worried. What did he want? Izura took a deep breath. Did he come here? To finish what he started? No, replied Naruto. I know what he's after. Kakashi's eyes widen. Naruto, is it wise to tell Kushina? In her condition, it may affect the birth of her future child. Then what is it? What is he after? Roared Sasuke. Naruto at the moment was having similar thoughts as Kakashi. Did you read the Uchiha tablet, Sasuke? Sasuke was a bit taken back. What does that have to do with anything? There's a reason why Itachi wanted you to achieve the Mangekyo Sharingan, Sasuke. It was because Itachi is after the eternal light, replied Naruto. Sasuke's legs shook. What's the eternal light? What's this Mangekyo Sharingan? Asked Miyuki. Naruto closed his eyes for a second and reopened them, revealing the 8-rounded star. The Mangekyo Sharingan is a forbidden stage of the Sharingan, a stage where only a handful of individuals have managed to unlock in the history of the Uchiha. Mangekyo Sharingan? Asked Azura. Kakashi's eyes widened. Naruto, what are yo shunning Kakashi? They need to know anyways. They must be aware of the danger they face, replied Naruto as he glared down Kakashi. Kakashi sighed. In order to keep a secret hidden, one must be able to reveal another secret just as satisfying. Sasuke clutched his head. Naruto, how did you get those eyes? Have you lied to me this whole time? Kushina was suddenly worried. What's going on? What's this Mangekyo Sharingan? What happened to your Sharingan, Naruto? Naruto suddenly remembered the presence of his mother. It's... Answer me! Screamed Sasuke. Naruto looked back at Sasuke. Yes and no, Sasuke. I unlocked my Mangekyo Sharingan long ago, but I hadn't discovered it until recently. Sasuke calmed down a bit. What do you mean? What's the Mangekyo Sharingan? Asked Miyuki. Sasuke looked over at Miyuki. As he said, it's a forbidden stage of the Sharingan. It gives you enough visual power that you're even capable of controlling the Nine Tails. The only drawback is that in order to achieve that power you must kill your best friend. Miyuki's, Azura's, Kushina's, and Mito's eyes widened as they turned to Naruto. Is that true? Asked Mito. Naruto's eyesight lowered. Yes, Azura suddenly clenched his fist. Then, how can you call yourself one of us? This whole time you've deceived us. Who exactly did you kill? Naruto closed his eyes. Shursui Uchiha. Azura's expression fell in shock. You mean Shursui? You killed Shursui. Kushina suddenly clenched her heart. So that day ago, all those years ago. Yes, replied Naruto. Miyuki suddenly grabbed him by the collar. When were you planning to tell us this? Naruto looked Miyuki in the eye. Never. He was suddenly punched in the face. Miyuki! Naruto grabbed his face and turned around. Miyuki just glared at him. You talk about bonds, but yet for a bond to exist, trust must be present. Naruto closed his eyes. You won't understand. Azura growled. You double-faced that's enough. Screamed Kakashi. You can't judge him unless you know the whole details. Even I don't know what happened that night. Naruto reopened his eyes. I will show you what happened that night. Everyone in the room suddenly turned toward Naruto as he cast them under his genjutsu. Then the room suddenly shifted. Everyone gasped for air as they fell back onto their butts. Chills ran their spines as they had just watched Naruto plunge his sword through Shursui. Unaware, they watched a slightly modified version of what happened that night. Sasuke just looked over at Naruto, whose eyes were closed tightly. So, that's the cause for so much power. Your sanity. Miyuki and Azura looked at each other with worried looks, and Mito just moved on to her knees. Kushina, meanwhile, was already crying. Naruto. She quickly stood up and engulfed him in a hug. I never had any idea. I knew what had happened, but that was worse than I imagined. Miyuki stood up. So Itachi stole his eye? How come he doesn't already have at least one eternal Mangekyo Sharingan? Naruto was still hugging his mother as he opened his eyes. Because Shursui was like me. He carried both Senju and Uchiha blood. Since Itachi doesn't have Senju blood, he can't use his or my eyes. He needs a full-blooded Uchiha's blood. Kushina let go a little. But Shursui was an orphan. I don't think he was related to any senju. Naruto shrugged his shoulders. I'm certain of it. I'm sorry, Naruto. I was wrong to judge you so quickly, but you should have told us. I'll be going, replied Sasuke as he walked out the door with a million thoughts in his head. We'll be going too, answered both Miyuki and Izura as they walked out the room. Kushina wiped a tear. So why don't we get you out of here, Naruto? Naruto shook his head. I have to wait for Granny to come clear me, and probably give me another lecture. Oh. Well, we can wait, replied Kushina. Naruto looked up at his mother with a big smile. Well, could you actually go make me something to eat? It's just that I haven't had anything since I was released from the hospital earlier today. Kushina smiled. Of course, come along, Mito. Let's go make Naruto a big meal. Mito eyes widen. What? Why me? Kushina glared her down. Well, first because I said so, and second because I said so. So come along. Mito sighed. You owe me one, Naruto. Kushina grabbed Mito, and they both walked out of the room. Naruto sighed. Finally got rid of them. Now I can just think. Naruto eyes widened as he turned to face the window. The curtains moved wildly as the wind blew into the room. What do you want? I thought I told you to stay away and never show your face again. I just wanted to make sure you kept your end of the deal. Don't want you spilling any secrets, replied a voice. Naruto's eyes instantly morphed into an 8-rounded star. It was never a deal to begin with. It was my order. The voice suddenly chuckled. I guess you're right, I really had no choice but to accept your demand, but don't forget that could change any day. Naruto smirked. You're sure grown cocky. The evidence I have against you would get you killed any day. But it would also spark a civil war. A war you want to avoid, replied the voice. Naruto's smirk turned into a frown. I'll remind you that I'll kill you if that happens. Who's being cocky now? HM, it seems you didn't reveal any secrets, so I'll be taking my leave now. It seems Itachi didn't spill anything either. Let's hope it stays that way. Naruto spoke. Just get out here before I lose my patience. Danzo Shimura. Danzo just growled. Naruto Uzumaki, I'll kill you one day, but unfortunately that won't be today. Danzo jumped out of his hiding spot and then shunshined out of there. If only I hadn't been so careless. Flashback and jutsu. A few days after the Chunin exam's preliminary rounds, Danzo was sitting in a desk hidden deep inside of his root hideout. He was silently working away at some papers, occasionally taking a smoke out of his old pipe. As he looked up, he suddenly noticed something different about the Anbu station outside of his room. What a pathetic attempt of a genjutsu. The guard was obviously 4 inches taller. Danzo quietly reached under his desk and pulled out a shuriken. Wasting no time, he chucked the shuriken across the room and tossed it at the creeping figure. Quickly, the genjutsu broke, and it revealed an Anbu slumped on the ground. What's this? A leaf Anbu sent to kill me. This must be some joke. Danzo quietly walked across the room and took off his mask. This is impossible. The face he saw was the face of Shursui Uchiha missing his right eye. Then suddenly the body exploded into a flock of crows. Danzo's eyes widened. That genjutsu. His hands moved quickly to form 3 hand signs. But on the second one, someone grabbed his hands. Then suddenly the genjutsu broke, and Naruto stood in front of Danzo. Danzo's eyes widened as he watched the unique pattern of his Mangekyo Sharingan. That's impossible. I would have known. That's I. He betrayed me. Naruto stared Danzo right into the eyes. I know the trick behind your right arm. Danzo Shimura. I'm not going to allow you to activate his Anaji. Tsukimi. Line Danzo's world flipped upside down, as a red moon suddenly appeared above him. What is this? Naruto smirked. This is what I consider the strongest genjutsu in the world. In here I control space and the perception of time. When a moment passes in the real world, 3 days will pass in here. You're now my prisoner. Danzo tried to move as he felt a sense of danger, and 7 large stakes were embedded in him. Then they exploded. Danzo's eyes widened as he realized he was perfectly fine. That pain, though, It felt so real. This genjutsu, it is phenomenal. This could continue for 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 12 more seconds unless you agree to my demands, replied Naruto. Danzo couldn't believe it. What does he want with me? I want you to stay away from any and all uchiha, and I also want you to stay away from my family and friends. Especially Sai, demanded Naruto. Danzo narrowed his eyebrows. What makes you think that I will accept these demands? What are you gonna do? Kill me? Naruto shrugged. That would be too boring. Before I continue, you might want to consider. How do I know the trick behind your right arm? Danzo's eyes widened. How does he know? Allow me to show you the other power at Tsukuyomi, replied Naruto as the world suddenly took the shape of the Forest of Death. Danzo watched as Naruto's team came to defeat both Torian and Fu. Then Naruto Torian under Tsukuyomi. Naruto then looked over to Danzo. My Tsukuyomi is different than Shirsue's. My Tsukuyomi allows me to dig deeper into one's mind. There is not a single piece of information I can't steal from one's mind. Danzo's eyes widened. So you managed to extract information from. How much do you know? Naruto smirked. I have him right where I want him. I already knew everything, but now I have proof of your crimes against the Uchiha. I know that you sabotaged Shirsue's attempt from postponing the Uchiha's coup d'etat and stole his right, forced Itachi to kill his own clan, spoke Naruto. As well that you stole the eyes from the dying members of the Uchiha clan and implanted them into your right arm. That right arm currently has a total of 8 Sharingan eyes implanted for the use of a single purpose, to use the Izanagi several times. All this information I have stored and I have sealed across the whole village. If I was to die, this information would be immediately released. Naruto smirked again. I also know all the dirty secrets that you entrusted to Torian. It's a pity that for being one to cover his tracks so well, would leave one gaping mistake. Danzo growled. Why not just turn me in? Naruto shook his head. It would just ruin Shirsue's and Itachi's sacrifice. If I was to turn you in, all they sacrificed to achieve would be nothing. The Uchiha clan had close ties to many clans of the village, and would start great unrest if not a civil war. Not to mention you control 40% of ANBU Black Ops. Then the name of the Uchiha would be run through the dirt, and those who still live would live their lives in agony. It would just be everything they wanted to avoid. Naruto sighed. That's the only reason why I will allow you to live today. This isn't a deal I'm handing out. It's a demand. If not, I will just kill you here and now. Flashback, no jutsu yeni, Danzo growled as he thought back to the day. One day, Line Naruto sat awkwardly at the kitchen table, constantly trying to readjust his seat. His eye twitched as he kept remembering Tsunade punching him out of the window. That old hag, did she really have to put me on the 3rd floor? Kushina put a bowl down in front of Naruto. Are you okay? You keep moving around. Before Naruto replied, Minato walked and sat at the kitchen table with a small chuckle. Tsunade punched him out of the window. You should have seen it, Kushina. Naruto didn't show it, but he was in shock, his right arm, so he really did lose it completely. Before he could ask anything, Kushina had Minato dangling in the air by his neck. What do you mean out of the window? He was on the 3rd floor. Minato chuckled nervously. Tsunade's way of a punishment? A punishment? He had 2nd-degree burns that took 2 hours to cure. Then she punched him out the window? What were you doing? Couldn't you have caught him? Asked Kushina with a deadly tone. Minato replied, I wasn't there. I heard of it from the other ninja. Kushina placed him back down. I'm going to have a talk with Tsunade after this. I don't care if she's Hokage. How can she go around beating my Naruto? Especially after he saved her Jonins. Naruto chuckled nervously. Oh man, if Mom complains to Tsunade, then she's gonna beat me worse. You don't have to do that, Mom. It's just her way of expressing her love, replied Naruto. Kushina snorted as she poured down the ramen. Well, she should find a better way. Violence is never the answer. Minato and Naruto both sweat-dropped. Oh, Mom. Suddenly, Mito walked into the room. I'm sorry I'm late. It's just that Kakashi called a team meeting with no notice. Dad, why did you raise such an undisciplined student? He was an hour late. Again, Minato smiled slightly. It's a long story. Mito sighed. I'm sure you had your handful with him. Why don't you tell us? Asked Naruto. Minato looked a bit confused about how Kakashi used to be in the past. He is your student, replied Naruto. Kushina giggled. On Minato's genin team, they sure were the cutest bunch. Mito mouth gaped. Dad, you were a jonin leader? I thought Kakashi was like your apprentice or something. Asked Naruto. What happened to them? Minato looked at Naruto, sharp as always. Unfortunately, they aren't with us anymore. What happened? Asked Mito. Minato sighed. Back then, Kakashi wasn't as laid back as he is now. He used to be a shinobi that stuck to the rules, no matter what. He was a very stubborn and lonely person who didn't talk to many people. He was too focused on his shinobi. He had 2 teammates, Obito Uchiha and Rin Noara. Naruto's eyes widened. Obito Uchiha? Obito was a very clumsy student and was always late. He was even worse than Kakashi was now. Then there was Rin, who was a talented medical ninja and was very smart. Kakashi didn't change his ways until Obito died at Canopy Bridge. That's where Kakashi attained his Sharingan. It was Obito's congratulations present for Kakashi, who has just been named a Jonin. Naruto zoomed out of the conversation as thoughts began running through his head. Does Kakashi also have the Mangekyo Sharingan? Obito Uchiha was clearly on the list. Did this Uchiha manage to activate it so early, or did Kakashi? Naruto, stuck in his own thoughts, failed to notice his father's question. I'm sorry, could you repeat that? Minato looked Naruto in the eye. Since we were talking about teams, I was wondering what you would be doing from now on. You are a Chunin and have the liberty to stay with your team or get assigned to a Chunin team. Naruto quickly glanced over to his mother, who was already sitting down, and then to his sister. I was actually planning on joining Anbu Black Ops. The reaction was instantaneous. Anbu Black Ops? Asked Mito, eyes wide open. What? Obviously not, screamed Kushina. You're only 13. Minato looked at Naruto. Did Tsunade invite you? No. I was invited by current Anbu Black Ops captain to join the empty spot in their squad, replied Naruto. Minato smiled. Well, I support your decision, Naruto. Kushina frowned. Are you sure about this? Anbu is nothing compared to those silly genin missions you get. Naruto smirked. You said it yourself, I saved 3 Jonins today. Kushina smacked Naruto in the head. Don't play smart with me, mister. But fine, I'm all right with you joining the NBU. Mito just slowly gazed at Naruto. He's improving so quickly. I thought over the Chunin exams I had caught up, but the gap is so far away. By the way, I want to talk to you after dinner, Naruto. I have lots to discuss. Spoke Minato. Naruto scooped up some ramen. Could we do it quick? I want to rush over to the orphanage, and I saw a couple rain clouds. It seems like it might rain around sunset. Minato got the hidden message. Yes, it won't take long. Line Naruto and Minato stood in Minato's private office in their house. Naruto looked around the room, not really been in there ever since he met Shursui. How have you been feeling? Blessed. I'm fortunate I didn't die there and only lost one arm. I'm fortunate, Mito, and your mother got out without too much damage. But how about you? Asked Minato. Naruto looked Minato in the eyes. Fine. That's not what I heard, replied Minato as he closed his eyes. Naruto gave him a half glare. What? Why tell you something you already know? Since you are the 4th Hokage, I'm sure Tsunade has run everything through you. Being new to the position, it's expected, but that's not the point. Why make me spit it out? Minato sighed. It's not that, it's just looks like a big lack of faith. What I've been able to figure out, no one knew about it. Naruto shook his head. Only a total of 3 people knew the existence of these Ai Sai, Yakumo, and Haruka. And Fu. Yet the reason I chose to tell no one else is because not only was I unsure of who to trust, but I didn't want to worry anyone. Minato looked confused. Who to trust? Naruto narrowed his eyes. You think I'm an idiot? I know the truth of what occurred that night. Minato's eyes widened. W, what do you mean? Naruto closed his eyes. I'm not going to make you acknowledge it. We both know the truth. Now, what we came to talk to, does he really know the truth of what happened to the Uchiha clan? Does that explain the birth of his Mangekyo Sharingan? Wondered Minato. Minato took a deep breath. You know about the group, the Akatsuki? Naruto's eyes slowly gazed out of the window, where they landed on the moon that was just beginning to show. Then he saw an illusion of Itachi's Mangekyo. Yes, they are a dangerous group of S-rank ninja, whose goal is to capture the Biju. Minato nodded. That's true, you confronted two of their members earlier today, Itachi Uchiha and Kisame Hashigaki. We weren't completely positive of their existence or goals until today. Completely positive? Asked Naruto. Minato nodded. Yeah, Jiraiya had picked up on him a few years back, but nothing was set in stone. We, of course, tried to get information on any ninja that may be related to them. We were only able to dig up 3 members before today: Orochimaru, Itachi Uchiha, and Kakashi of Waterfall. Naruto quickly connected the dots. So that was the truth behind Yamato-sensei's mission. I always thought there was something out of order. Minato continued. Luckily, Orochimaru dropped out of the organizations a while back, but he's no longer of our concern. But now we know the existence of another just as dangerous. What are you planning to do? Asked Naruto. Minato shrugged. I don't have much say. It's all Tsunade's decision, though it's just best to see what happens. Jiraiya believe they won't be coming knocking around for at least 3 more years. That's only assuming that they don't know the location of the other 8 Jinchurikis, replied Naruto. Are you going to tell them? Minato sighed. I don't know. Mito, of course, but I'm not sure about your mother. Naruto slowly walked to the door. It's best to wait for her pregnancy to finish before telling her the truth. Minato nodded. Yeah, you're right. And Naruto, good luck in the MBU. I just want you to know that I'm already proud of you. Naruto froze on the handle for a second, but he quickly turned the knob. Line. Next day, Training Ground Forsai and Yakumo had been sparring against Yamato when Naruto had appeared onto the training ground. Now wearing his second Chunin jacket, Naruto slowly walked up to the team. Hey! How are you? Naruto had no time to think as a barrage of kunai were thrown at him. In half a second, Naruto caught the first and blocked the second to get out of the way. What was that for? Sai jumped in front of him. Want to make sure you were Chunin material. Yakumo sighed. And dodging kunais makes him Chunin material? It takes a lot more than that to become a Chunin Yakumo and Sai, replied Yamato as he walked behind them. Naruto smiled at his team. It sure has been a while since we've been together like this. Yakumo smiled. It sure has. After the attack, you've been in the hospital like forever. I mean, is it true you managed to defeat 2 S-rank ninja? Naruto chuckled a little as the burns of Amaterasu suddenly stung under his jacket. Well, not really. I heard Whiskers got sent back to the hospital, and Tsunade punched him out the window, replied Sai. Yamato shook his head. Those are just rumors. We should just ask Naruto what happened. Naruto rubbed the back of his head. Well, I did face 2 S-rank ninja, but I didn't exactly defeat them. They actually got away, but it's true that Tsunade did punch me out the window. Again, Yakumo pouted as she silently handed Sai some money. Naruto's sweat dropped. The most caring team in the world. Yakumo smiled. Well, it's good to have you back, Naruto. Now we can start our missions again. Yakumo missed a glint of sadness in Naruto's eyes as she talked. Then Sai shook his head. Yakumo, he will probably be assigned to other missions, since he is now a Chunin. We probably won't go on as many missions together as we did in the past. Yakumo crossed her arms. Well, that doesn't mean he can't train with us. No, I won't be able to train with any of you, and I probably won't do any mission with you for a long time, replied Naruto. Yakumo and Sai both looked at Naruto a bit surprised. Why not? Yamato walked forward. It's because Naruto has been asked to join the AMBU Black Ops. Yakumo was left with her mouth wide open. "But you're only 13, Sai smiled. "Well, Yakumo, it has happened in the past. I'm glad, Naruto. I'm sure ANBU will do you well." Yakumo gave Naruto a big hug. "Ah, I'm gonna miss you, Naruto. You, Sai, and Sasuke were my first friends I made as a ninja. I can't believe I won't be seeing you as much anymore. But you have to promise that you will drop by, even if you are some ANBU hotshot." Naruto attempted to pull away. "Don't worry, I'm sure I will still be able to drop around once in a while." "Yakumo, let go, you betters." Naruto quickly moved to his right and dodged another barrage of kunai. "Again? Well, you aren't in ANBU now. Why not one last training session as a team?" asked Sai as he rose his ink-drawing scroll. Naruto smirked. "Okay, why not? Yakumo and me versus you and Yamato-sensei." Naruto was quickly restrained by Yamato's with style. Then Yamato smirked. "Just cause you're in ANBU doesn't mean you can take me down, Naruto." Then suddenly he heard a voice behind him. "That's why I have my teammates to back me up." Yamato smirked as he watched Naruto burst into petals of flowers. Turning around, he saw Yakumo giggling. "Too easy, sensei." Yamato chuckled. "Let's show these two genjutsu users up." Sai quickly begun drawing into a scroll. "My pleasure." Days later, Naruto walked down a dark corridor as he entered the ANBU barracks. Finding the ANBU barracks had been a bit easier than he had thought. Having passed Tsunade's medical test and ANBU initiation test, Naruto was now coming to get his uniform, where he would be assigned to his team. He already knew what team he would be on, but he felt nervous anyways. "I really don't know anyone else." Then Yugao. "I wonder if the other ANBU members will accept me. I mean, I am only 13. Naruto sighed as he walked up to a small window. Then suddenly an ANBU appeared. Name, rank, and registration number. Naruto Uzumaki, Chunin, 01542. The ANBU nodded, and quickly pulled out a small box, your uniform, and ANBU mask. "Your code name will be Crow. Any questions will be brought up to me, your ANBU captain, or the Hokage. You have been assigned to Team Eco led by Cat. Your team locker will be found in Barak 7. Naruto nodded and was about to turn away, when suddenly he was pulled back. One more thing. The ANBU flashed through a few hand seals and slammed his hand into Naruto's right arm. Naruto groaned silently as a stinging pain ran through his arm. An ANBU tattoo required by all ANBU. Welcome to ANBU Black Ops. You can go. Naruto nodded and walked down the hall. That was close. Had he used my left arm, he would have ruined my summoning tattoo. Naruto sighed as he walked down the hall and came upon Barak 7. Here we go. Opening the door. He was expecting a serious-looking crowd to stare him down, but instead he received Yugao's piercing stare. You're late. Naruto looked up at Yugao's mask. It took a little longer than I expected. Where is everyone? The team only consists of 6 members. You, me, and 4 currently at Training Ground 67, and are waiting for you. Hurry up and get over there. I'll be waiting for you there too, replied Yugao. Yugao formed a hand seal and sunshine away. Naruto sighed. Great, I don't even know where Training Ground 67 is. Line 4 ANBU members sat around a tree as they awaited their captain. The ANBU members included 2 girls and 2 guys. The tallest male stood up having a tiger mask. I wonder who our new member is going to be. I don't really care. We were fine without a 6th member, replied the girl wearing a rabbit mask. The other male let out a dry laugh as he adjusted his lizard mask. I heard it was a brand new Chunin. It seems we will be getting a fresh rookie to the team. The last one was sharpening her kunai as she looked up at Lizard. Looking up, the light revealed her panda mask. I heard he was another prodigy from the Uchiha clan. Rabbit scolded. Another? Look what happened to the last one. You mean Itachi? Asked Cat as she walked out of the shadows. Captain, shouted the 4 ninja as they raced into a line. Cat looked at Rabbit. I'm sure you have a lot of questions over our new recruit. He is not from the Uchiha clan, but he does possess the Sharingan. He is a freshly new Chunin, but I assure you that his skills are high. Captain, what makes you so certain? Asked Rabbit. Yugao looked at Rabbit. I requested him. The whole team stayed silent, as shock ran through them. Captain made a request, thought Lizard. Tiger looked up, but she's never made a request. She must think highly of this Chunin, thought Panda. Then suddenly Naruto appeared behind Yugao. I'm here, Cat. It's Captain to you, Crow, replied Yugao. Naruto straightened up a little. Sorry, Captain. Naruto then turned to the group and finally caught the stares of his soon-to-be team. This is Crow. He will be a part of our team from now on, spoke Cat. Lizard stepped forward. But Captain, this must be a joke. He's only a kid. He's a new Chunin. What did you expect? Asked Cat. Rabbit also stepped forward. I don't know, maybe someone who doesn't need diapers? He's too young. If you have a problem, you can go complain to the Godame. No? Good. Any complaints from you too? Asked Yugao at Panda and Tiger. Tiger and Panda shook their heads. Naruto sighed. Well, this could have gone worse. All right, Crow, this team is known as Team Eco. We specialize as a backup retrieval, and some cases an escort unit, spoke Cat. We will first start off with a few formations in order to get you in sync with the team. The rest of the team silently groaned in displeasure. Naruto just nodded, and Yugao began explaining the formations. Line 1 month later, Naruto was working on his Fuinjutsu as he sat in his back patio. He had been working on the set of seals his mother had left him. Who would have thought A and B would be, so there's that team of mine. They think too lowly of me, especially after they found out I was the fourth son. Naruto's hand slipped, and he cursed silently. I messed up. Naruto grabbed a piece of paper and crumbled it up. Then suddenly a small crow poofed into existence. Kaka, I got mail. How's it going, Karasu? Asked Naruto as he grabbed the scroll. Karasa twitched a little. It would be better if you could give me some stuff. Naruto chuckled as he pulled out a small bag of sunflower seeds. Tossing it to the crow, it squealed, You're the best, Naruto. Have fun with your girlfriend's letter. Naruto growled as it poofed out of existence. Dumb crow, Naruto was about to open the letter when a hawk raced across the sky. This late? Naruto sighed, and he put the letter down. I'll read Fue's letter later. Line Naruto appeared in their usual meeting ground, where the rest of his team was already stationed. What's the issue? We don't know. We've been asked to come by the Godame, replied Cat. Rabbit snorted. You're the last one here. Again. Naruto sighed. And I bet you were the first one here. They do say older people have a tendency to get here early. What did you say, you little snot? Asked Rabbit. You didn't hear me, old ladies. Crow. Rabbit, shouted Cat. Can you two lovebirds stop your bickering? Love birds, screamed Naruto and Rabbit. Lizard chuckled. How cute you even talk in unison. Naruto glared down Lizard. Then Yugao interrupted. We're next. Then Yugao disappeared. The rest soon followed. Line Team Eco was kneeling on the roof in front of Tsunade. Tsunade had her back to them. Her gaze was frozen onto the Hokage monument. I'm about to give you your mission details, so pay close attention. This mission is a retrieval mission classified as an S-rank mission. Failure is not an option. Yes, ma'am. An S-rank retrieval mission, thought Naruto. We've been doing nothing but splitting up and backing up other AMBU units. None going over A-rank. Then we get an S-rank. Tsunade turned around. There is a clan known as the Tsuchigumo clan that is located in the Fire Country. The Tsuchigumo clan is a very prestigious clan that made a name for itself in the Third Great Shinobi War. It possesses a forbidden jutsu so powerful it can wipe out an entire village in the blink of an eye. We, the Leaf Village, are in current alliance with them for obvious reasons. So it's our duty to protect that jutsu at all costs. A day ago, that jutsu was stolen from their clan, and we believe the ninja responsible are heading for the Hidden Cloud Village. You must go intercept them and retrieve a girl by the name of Hataru. A girl? I thought we were after a jutsu? Asked Cat. Tsunade pulled out a scroll. That's the problem. The jutsu is located on this girl. Your duty is to locate and rescue this girl at all costs. In this scroll is a description of her and a map of the last whereabouts of the enemy ninja. I warn that these ninja may very well be ninja from the Hidden Cloud Village, so do not take them lightly. Use any force necessary. We cannot allow that jutsu to fall in their hands. Hi! Team Iko then disappeared. Tsunade sighed as she looked at the spot Naruto had just been. Take care of yourself, you idiot. Line Team Iko stood outside of the village as they double-checked their sun was about to set. When Kat looked at her team, we will run a formation T. Once we make contact, we do not engage. Wait for further instructions. Hi! Line. A few hours later, Team Iko were silently creeping through the night. You couldn't even hear their footsteps as they raced across the night. Team Iko was in AT formation. Naruto at point with Cat, Panda, and Lizard in a horizontal line behind him. Then Tiger and Rabbit in a vertical line behind Cat and Naruto. The formation looked exactly like a lowercase t Naruto with his Sharingan. I caught something as they ran through the night. Naruto raised his hand and signaled everyone else to stop. In a quick motion, they all stopped outside of a rather tall tree. What's the problem? Asked Cat. Rabbit spoke quietly. I sense the enemy another 2 clicks away. Why are we stopping? They're not moving, so I thought it would be best to think of a plan, responded Naruto. I think it would be wiser if we got a click closer, before we got any closer. Lizard said. Naruto shook his head. That's the other issue. They have a barrier surrounding them. Naruto put his hand on a loose piece of bark and tore it off. The piece fell off and revealed a rather complex seal. It's a barrier similar to the one set in Konoha. Once we pass through the seal, the wielder will quickly detect us, putting us at the disadvantage. They must have a skilled Fuinjutsu user in their group. Heck, they may even be using this opportunity to get past the seal functions on the girl. We need to act fast, respond Panda. Tiger spoke next. I think it would be wise if we broke up into groups of 2. Have each group attack from the east, west, north, and south. We attack quick and take them all out. There's too many problems with that. The first, we're talking about a hostage. If we want to secure the hostage, we must have the element of surprise. Second, we don't know the skill level of the shinobi. The fact that they can have such a high-level barrier means that might have even stronger shinobi, spoke Panda. Cats looked at the tag and back at Naruto. What do you think? Naruto was a bit surprised to be asked for his opinion, but he quickly responded. Taking down this barrier would probably take too much time, and waiting for them to move on would also be time-consuming. I think the best course of plan would be to sacrifice a bit of our element of surprise. What do you mean? Asked Rabbit. This barrier can detect how many individuals have entered the barrier. I think that 2 of us need to enter the barrier and attack the enemy. What? That's suicide. We don't know the skill level of the enemy, responded Lizard. Naruto shook his head. No, whoever this team is doesn't want to fight. They've moved quickly, and this is the first sign that they have stopped and rested. If they are surely Kumonin, then they will most likely race toward their borders, which is only 30 miles too that will attack the enemy. Won't be exactly an attack to kill or retrieve. It will be an attack to force them out of the barrier, while the rest of us will be waiting to ambush them. By then we can get a rough sketch of their skill level and properly take them out. Cat nodded. That's an excellent plan. Any objections? I guess that little brain of yours does come in handy, Crow, taunted Rabbit. Lizard smirked under his mask. So, who'll be the lucky 2? Cat stood up. Panda and I will force them out, while Tiger will be in charge of setting up the ambush. Understood. Hi, Line Yujito ni. The 2 tails Jinchuriki sat at the base of a tree. The gorgeous blonde beauty was taking a sip of her drink as she tried to get some rest. Looking around at the small camp, she caught the eye of her old friend Darui. Darui gave her a reassuring look as she looked down at her drink. Boy, did she hate these type of missions. If it wasn't because a friend of the Raikage was paying top dollar for the girl, this mission would have never been done. Kidnapping a little girl. There's something I would expect from the third Reikage, but the fourth? We're risking war with Konoha if we're caught. Or is the recent attack on Konoha that allowed the fourth to make such a bold decision? Yujito shook her head as she looked at the little girl being guarded by two Kakaku Force members. See? How are you holding up? Asked Yujito as she broke the ice. See, another childhood friend of Yujito looked over at her. The barrier is much easier to hold than you think. By focusing my sensor abilities on it, I'm holding up pretty good. What about you? Yujito didn't get a chance to respond. When C's face lit up, two Jounin to AMBU level have entered the area. Darui stood up. Konoha AMBU? I don't know, but they're moving fast. We need to move, responded C. Darui, and Yujito nodded, as the Kakaku members moved swiftly to secure the girl for departure. C gritted his teeth. They're fast. Yujito, Darui. Yujito pulled out a kunai and quickly blocked a small barrage of shuriken. Then suddenly multiple fireballs were launched at Yujito. Darui moved quickly and launched a jutsu, storm release, laser circus. A series of small white beams exploded from his hand. His jutsu easily overpowered the fireballs and took out everything behind it. Quickly, Cat appeared in front of Darui. Darui moved to grab his sword and block Cat's own strike, just like I thought Konoha ANBU. Panda appeared to behind him and attempted to land a killing blow. Then Yujito kicked her from behind. Panda groaned as she did a backwards flip in order to reposition herself. Then she flashed through some hand seals. Fire release. Fire tornado, a 15-foot spiral of flames exploded from Panda's mouth. The tornado's edge expanded as it grew closer to Yujito. Yujito smirked as she slammed a hand seal. Fire release. Fire beam. What happened next shocked Panda as she watched a deep blue-colored fire explode from Yujito's mouth. The beam of fire canceled her jutsu and managed to burn a good part of Panda's right arm. Jumping back, Panda begun to breath hard. Meanwhile, Cat quickly engaged Darui in Kinjutsu. The both exchanged expertly timed strikes and had managed to land a few scratches on each other. Cat's eyes widened as she watched the blue fire. Kyomo's Jinchuriki? This complicates things. And then there's this guy, Darui of the Black Lightning. Cat jumped back towards Panda. Return the girl. And there's no need of a won't pursue you, and we will allow you to return to your village. C called out, Darui, Yujito, we're ready to move. Darui nodded as he flashed through some hand seals. Hidden Cloud Jutsu. Cat's eyes widened as she watched a fog quickly creep the area. A variation of the hidden mist technique. Grabbing Panda, she jumped away from the mist. How are you holding up? Panda gritted her teeth. Nothing life-threatening, but she got my left arm good. Cat sighed and searched the tree lines, where she found a small little crow perched in the trees. Give the rest of the team the details we gathered. Tell them to watch out for the Two Tails, Jinchuriki, and Darui of the Black Lightning. Finally alert Crow that Panda and I will retreat back to Rendezvous Point B. The crow's head twitched towards Panda and revealed a Sharingan eye. Then it poofed out of existence. Lion, Naruto, tiger, rabbit, and lizard stood in position scattered across the forest. Then suddenly the small crow appeared by Naruto. The crow looked Naruto into the eye, and the crow passed on the information through Genjutsu. Naruto blinked and signaled for a gathering. They moved to the center, where Naruto began explaining, "We have 5 Kyumo shinobi moving towards us. 2 of them are a part of the Kakaku force and are guarding the target. The rest of them are high-level jonins. Darui of the Black Lightning, and Yujito the Two Tails Jinchuriki is among them. The last one is a high-level sensory ninja. Lastly, Panda got injured, and her and Captain are moving to Rendezvous Point B." Tiger nodded. Okay, so our best move would have to be to get rid of that sensory ninja. After that, 2 of us will need to distract the 2 jonins, while the other 2 will take out the Kakaku force and retrieve the girl. Naruto looked at them. I will take out the sensory ninja using Genjutsu. It's the quickest way. Me and Lizard will take out the Kakaku force and retrieve the girl, spoke Tiger. Rabbit sighed. Then that leaves me and Crow to take out the two Jonins. I'll take Darui, spoke Naruto. Are you sure? Naruto nodded. I'm a wind user, so I would be best suited for him. Your water release would backfire, and the Jinchuriki is a fire user. Rabbit nodded. Okay in positions. They moved out. Line the Kimo team raced through the trees, and C suddenly pointed out, for more AMBU up ahead. Darui sighed. How dull. That attack earlier was just a diversion to push us forward. Yujito nodded. Oka dash, Yujito didn't finish, as Naruto suddenly appeared in the middle of the group. Sharingan blazing, he attacked Yujito and looked behind her, gazing into the eyes of C. C suddenly felt the air leave his body in a single breath. Demonic illusion. World of glass, C's tripped over his own feet and slammed into the ground. Pain rushed all over his body as he suddenly saw his body break into shards of glass. Ah! Genjutsu, what a powerful illusion. As he tried to move his limbs to break the illusion, he suddenly felt his arms crack and more pain rush through. Just moving causes so much pain. Naruto, seeing his plan set in motion, jumped back. Yujito and Darui, who had been in front of the team, were suddenly surprised when they heard the sound of fighting behind them. Turning around, they watched as Tiger and Lizard attacked the two Kakaku Force members. Yujito and Darui were gonna assist, when Rabbit jumped in between them. In an instant, Darui and Yujito were back-to-back. Yujito spoke out. I see you Konoha AMBU are as skilled as they say they are. You managed to cleverly get past our defenses and force us into this trap, but will that be enough to take us down? Darui. Yujito and Darui quickly changed positions, and Yujito rushed towards Naruto. Naruto's eyes widened. No. Rabbit might be the best water release user I know, but Darui is the worst opponent. Did she manage to pick up on that? Yujito snickered. You AMBU get younger, and younger as the years pass. Kids like you need to stay out of a big kid's fight. Naruto ignored the taunt and quickly drew his katana. This katana is much lighter than my sword. I need to be careful. Naruto clashed with Yujito's kunai. Evading a few strikes, Naruto got under Yujito's defense. Yujito brought her kunai down in an odd position, and Naruto knocked it right out of her hand. Naruto spun backwards and attacked Yujito's weak side. Then suddenly a 3 sharp claws sprang from both of Yujito's hands. Moving quickly, Yujito blocked his strike and moved for the counter-strike. Naruto's eyes widened as her speed begun to pick up. Moving backwards, he barely managed avoiding a fatal blow. Yujito managed to land a shallow cut on Naruto's chest. Are those claws an ability from the Biju inside of her? That would explain the spike of her chakra. In fact, her chakra levels are increasing as the battle continues. I don't know whether or not Genjutsu will work. The sudden increases she's having could very well break any of my Genjutsus. The only option would be totally suppress the Biju inside of her, but Naruto's thoughts were interrupted as he ducked to avoid another of Yujito's blows. I can't let her get too close either. Naruto jumped back and flashed through some hand seals. Water release. Water trumpet jutsu. Naruto fired the enormous jet of water across the tree. The jet of water reached Yujito. She disappeared. Naruto's eyes widened, and he looked to his left, where Yujito was standing a few feet away. Yujito now had a cloak of orange chakra surrounding her body, and one tail was swinging in the air. Fast, Naruto managed to slam a hand seal. The water that was coming out of his mouth suddenly begun to shift and move around him. Water release. Triangular water wall jutsu. Yujito's tail slammed right through the water and sent Naruto flying into a tree. Pain rushed through Naruto's body as he tried to catch his breath. Lion Rabbit really hated two things. The first was her mask, because she hated looking like such a wannabe cute girl. Then the second was when things didn't go according to plan. It wasn't that she was completely helpless against lightning users, but it always made things so complicated. Rabbit jumped through the trees, clashing with Darui here and there. Darui sighed. This is getting dull. Sorry. Darui flashed through some hand seals, lighting release. Black Panther, Rabbit jumped away as a panther shot out of Derui's hands. As she jumped away, Darui appeared next to her. Pulling out her katana, she blocked his strike, but what she didn't expect was for him to channel his lightning chakra through his sword. Rabbit's katana snapped, and Darui managed to slash Rabbit across the chest. Then Rabbit exploded into water. Darui's eyes widened, and he accidentally electrocuted himself. Rabbit appeared from behind a tree and smirked under a mask. But everything can go work both ways. Water release. Water bomb jutsu. Rabbit released a big sphere of water from her mouth, and its course ran straight at Darui. Darui dropped his sword, as the effects of the electrocution ran its course. Darui tried to jump out of the way, but the water bomb fell right on him. It exploded with enormous force to destroy all the trees around. That took care of him, spoke Rabbit to herself. Then her eyes widened, and she tried to jump to the side. Turning around, she watched as Darui manages to get a clean cut on her right side. Jumping onto another tree branch, she grabs her side. "How did you?" "You're not the only one that can use a water clone," responded Darui as he flashed through some hand seals. "I'm sorry, but this is the end." Line Naruto coughed hard as he looked up at Yujito's Jinchuriki form. "I need to concentrate just on her if I want to defeat her, but..." Out of the corner of his eye, Naruto watched as Rabbit was in a bad position. "Unless I release the Genjutsu on that Kimo ninja, I won't be able to cast any Genjutsu. Yet if I do release it, we would be at a disadvantage." Naruto sighed, and he turned his attention to Yujito. Then he flashed through some hand seals. Hidden Mist Jutsu. Yujito's eyes widened as she watched the mist engulf her. "Do you really think this is going to help defeat me?" "No." Yujito's looked around as the voice echoed in the mist. "What?" Then Darui, Line Darui finished the last hand seal. Lightning release. White light murdered. A small orb of electricity formed at the center of Darui's hands. Then it exploded towards Rabbit. Lightning release. White light murder. A bright white light produced by the two jutsus blinded Darui momentarily. Naruto used the opportunity to grab Rabbit and used the mist to hide. Darui rubbed his eyes. Great, they can use the hidden mist technique. Suddenly Yujito appeared running through the mist and looked at Darui. "Are you okay?" Darui's eyes widened as they saw the one-tailed cloak cover Yujito. "Is it wise to use the two-tails chakra cloak?" Yujito sighed. "I was hoping to take him by surprise, but he anticipated my every move. His Sharingan is really bothersome. I can't afford to go easy." "They Sharingan? That's how he copied my jutsu so easily," spoke Darui. That's not all. His Genjutsu prowess is amazing," spoke a voice. "See?" asked Yujito. Suddenly C came stumbling from the mist. Falling to his knees, Darui quickly caught him. Sweat pouring down his forehead, and drool falling out of his mouth, C softly spoke. "He caught me under his Genjutsu with just a glance of his eye. I don't know why he released it, but if you're caught under it, it will be terribly difficult to break it. You can't allow him to get you one-on-one, Yujito. The Sharingan is rumored to be able to tame a tailed beast." C suddenly stumbled forward and collapsed. Yujito rushed forward and tried to shake him awake. "C." Darui shook his head. "The Genjutsu put a lot of mental stress on him. We need to get him out of here. We need to retreat." Yujito growled as she shook her head. "No, I will take care of them." Darui's eyes widened as he watched Version too slowly engulf Yujito. She's not really thinking of unleashing her. "You can't go alone, Dash." Darui watch over C. "I don't want to hurt you too." Line Naruto hid behind a tree with Rabbit. "Are you all right?" Rabbit growled. "Yeah, the cut isn't too deep. Let me take a look at it," spoke Naruto. Rabbit hesitated before allowing Naruto to continue. Lifting her armor, a little Naruto examined the wound. "I don't know a lot about wounds, but this one doesn't look too bad. In fact..." Naruto placed his hand over the wound, and his hand began to glow a light green. After a few moments, the wound began to shrink. Naruto stopped this process when he suddenly felt a chill in the air. Rabbit looked at Naruto. "What's wrong?" Naruto looked around. "Did you feel that? The air has grown a chill, and my mist is starting to lift. Naruto watched as Rabbit stayed motionless for a moment before responding. You're right. The Jinchuriki, it's changing. Is this Jinchuriki capable of summoning its Biju? Just like Gaara. Naruto then recalled the story that Yakumo and Sai had told him, how difficult it had been to defeat the One Tail. That it took all of Sasuke, Yakumo, Sai, and Mito's strength just to defeat him. And Mito was 9 Tails Jinchuriki. We need to regroup with Lizard and Tiger. Have they got the girl? Yes, what? Asked Naruto as he looked at Rabbit. Rabbit looked up at him. They've secured the girl. How do you know? Asked Naruto as he looked around the mist. Rabbit stayed quiet for a minute. I just know. Let's regroup with them and get out of here. Naruto nodded, and Rabbit got onto her feet. Naruto and Rabbit raced towards Tiger and Lizard. Lion, Tiger, and Lizard were covered in dirt and blood. Below them stood the 2 members of the Kakaku Force dead. Lizard was looking over the unconscious girl, as Tiger looked down at the 2 members. That was for the second Hokage. Lizard sighed. That's ancient history, Tiger. There's no need to hold a grudge that long. Tiger shook his head. I guess you're right, but we never really got redemption for the second's death. And there's no need to. The leaf has prospered long after the second's death, replied Lizard as the girl slowly begun to wake up. Hataru slowly opened her eyes and looked at the leaf Anbu. Who are you? Are you after the jutsu too? Sure. Quiet down. We're here to save you. The first question is the jutsu secure? Asked Lizard. Hataru nodded. They didn't try anything, but who are you? You didn't answer the question. Lizard sighed. I'm part of the Leaf Village's Anbu Black Ops. It's our duty to protect you, and that jutsu Hataru. Suddenly Naruto and Rabbit appeared next to Tiger and Lizard. We got the girl. We need to scram now, screamed Naruto. Tiger looked at Naruto. Did you take them out? No, they're at a high level to take down quickly. If we are to fight them, it would lead to a long, exhausted battle. As well, we're too close to Kumo's border. If they were to call for backup, we would be sitting ducks, replied Naruto. Rabbit nodded. As well, the Jinchuriki is transforming. We don't know what could happen. We could very well put the target at danger. Tiger asked, how do you know that the Jinchuriki is transforming? Naruto looked at Rabbit. How did you know? It's a sensor ability I was born with, replied Rabbit uneasily. She then glared at Tiger and Lizard, who both stayed quiet. Naruto looked at Rabbit with a sense of confusion. What is she hiding? Fine, but let's get Goidash. Naruto looked to the side, and he kicked Lizard in the chest. Then suddenly a red blur passed right through where Naruto and Lizard has been standing. The blur flew past and slammed into a tree. Naruto watched as Yujito stepped out in version 2 cloak. What is that? Yujito meanwhile growled, You killed them? How could you? I'll kill you. Naruto put his arms in front of his face to stop the wind from whipping his face. So much chakra. This is insane. Tiger looked at his team. We need to move now. I'll distract her. Just go. No one got a chance to protest when Yujito begun to yell. You're not going anywhere. Yujito suddenly raised her tails into the air, and Naruto watched with amazement as it begun to concentrate into a small ball of chakra. Tiger recognized the ball of chakra from 13 years ago and yelled, Run! It's using the tailed beast bomb. Lizard grabbed the young girl and threw her over his shoulder. Team Iko jumped to the tree, but Naruto turned around and watched as the ball had been completed. We are going to make it in time. Mangekyo Sharingan. Unaware to the rest of the team, Naruto's eyes morphed into the 8-rounded star. Timing his jump, he jumped onto a branch and launched himself back. Tiger saw this action and yelled out, What are you doing? Naruto didn't listen as he watched Yujito swallow the compressed ball of chakra, then almost instantaneously exploded from Yujito's mouth. Kamui, as the explosion drew nearer, Naruto's Mangekyo Sharingan managed to absorb everything. Lion Rabbit shouted at the top of her lungs, We have to go back. Tiger shook his head. Let's go. Lizard looked at them. Come on. Coping Naruto's manure lizard turned directions. The group moved back and caught eye of Naruto. Then suddenly they watched a bright light explode from the Jinchuriki and watched Naruto stand calmly in front of it. What is he doing? We're in the blast radius. Then suddenly the white light disappeared, and Team Iko was left shocked. They watched as Naruto slumped off the tree and was falling right onto his back. Rabbit moved quickly and caught Naruto. Rabbit saw that Naruto had received some of the damage. The left top part of his mask had fallen off, completely revealing his eye. Rabbit was stunned to see blood dripping from his left eye. Crow, are you dash? Naruto opened his eye, revealing his stress Mangekyo Sharingan. With a sense of urgency, he grabbed Rabbit and jumped to the treetops. Then suddenly Yujito was upon them. Naruto, not wasting a movement, dodged the upcoming attack. She's too fast. Naruto regrouped with Tiger and Lizard. Tiger scolded Naruto. What were you thinking? You almost got us killed. And how did you take out the Baijidama? Naruto looked Tiger in the eye, revealing his Mangekyo Sharingan. It's one of my forbidden techniques, Kamui, the transportation technique. I can transport anything in my line of sight, but it does have its limitation. As you can see, I took some damage since I couldn't teleport it fast enough. Rabbit shook her head. Who cares? We need to move. Suddenly, Yujito appeared in front of them. Lizard growled, I'll distract her. Go! Naruto shook his head. There's no need for any one of us to die. I will take care of her. Mangekyo Sharingan. Taming of the tailed beast, Yujito froze as she felt the whole world shift. Line Yujito looked up and saw the bright sunlight. Looking around, she noticed that she was in the middle of a meadow. Her eyes widened, releasing where she was. What am I doing in my mindscape? Quickly running across the field, she came across an enormous fence that reached the top of the sky. As usual, the gate was open, but someone else was there. The young Anbu from earlier was standing in front of the Two Tails. Yujito screamed out, Matabi. The Two Tails noticed Yujito. Yujito. It seems we have an intruder. Uchiha, it was an unwise move to come here. Naruto remained silent with his eyes closed. This is absolutely amazing. A Jinchuriki working together with its tailed beast. I have never heard of this happening. You've earned my respect, Yujito-ni, but I cannot allow neither of you to kill my comrades. Naruto reopened his eyes and stared into the eyes of the two-tailed beast. Matabi's eyes widened. You, a mere child, possess those eyes. Impossible. Yujito's narrowed her eyes. Is she talking about that weird eye pattern that kid showed earlier? Could it be connected to how he stopped my Baijidama? Naruto looked Matabi in the eyes. Matabi? I'm guessing that's your name, Two Tails, and you're not the first one to say that. Mangekyo Sharingan. Yujito watched in shock as Matabi's eyes shifted into an 8-rounded star. Naruto turned around and looked Yujito in the eye. You will soon feel the effects too. Yujito growled and tried to attack, but she simply slumped forward. Yujito's eyes closed as she blacked out in her own mindscape. Line Team Iko watched as Yujito's eyes morph into the same pattern as Naruto's Mangekyo Sharingan. Lizard was stunned. What's going on? How come she developed that weird pattern like you, Crow? Tiger looked at Naruto. What did you do? I caught her under a genjutsu. No, I caught the tailed beast inside her under my genjutsu. As you can see, my eyes have changed. This is an advanced stage of the Sharingan known as the Mangekyo Sharingan. With these eyes, I'm capable of taming a tailed beast with just my eyesight alone. But of course there are limitations, replied Naruto. Just like that technique you used earlier, Kamui, you probably have a time limit you can control the beast, and how much of it, spoke Tiger. Naruto nodded, sharp as always Tiger. Rabbit sighed. So what now? Storm release. Laser Circus, Team Iko scattered across the forest. Darui and C landed in the middle. Darui growled, Let Yujito go. Naruto looked at Darui. Fine on one condition. You allow my team to leave with the girl, and you will not pursue us. How can we trust you? How do we know you will just keep controlling Yujito? Asi Naruto shook his head. I said you will allow my team to go, not me. I will stay, and once they are far away, I will release the genjutsu on her. Deal! Darui clenched his fists. We have no choice. If everything he said was true, then we are powerless. I don't want to have to fight Yujito too. Deal! Go, spoke Naruto to his team. Rabbit, clench your fist. What about you? I'll find a way out. Trust me, I will. Tiger and Lizard nodded. Tiger added, I trust that you will make it out of this, Crow. Come one, Lizard, Rabbit. This is our opportunity to go. Rabbit puffed her chest. I'm staying here with the Naruto. Tiger and Lizard didn't argue. Okay, just be careful, you two, spoke Tiger as he and Lizard left with the girl. Naruto looked at Rabbit and whispered, I need you to grab my hand. What? Why? Whispered back Rabbit. I'm not your girlfriend, you loser. Naruto's eye twitched. Who will want to be your boyfriend? Now just do it. Rabbit cursed at Naruto and did just that. After that, it was a stare down between the Konoha Anbu and the Kumo Jonin. After about 10 minutes, Naruto addressed Darui. As I promised, release. Darui watched as Yujito slumped forward and fell to the ground. Her Jinchuriki cloak disappeared completely. She raced to catch her, as Darui launched an attack. Naruto right eye spinned. Kamui, they disappeared. Line as both Naruto and Rabbit landed in the Kamui dimension. Rabbit slammed her face into the ground. Naruto fell on his back, and his Sharingan disappeared completely. I overused my Sharingan. Again, standing up, he looked at Rabbit. He watched as Rabbit's mask crumbled away, as the impact of the ground had broken it. Naruto had always imagined what Rabbit looked under her mask. She was the only one in his teams he hadn't seen. She had long black hair, but that didn't say much of her face. In fact, Naruto noticed she was only a few years older than himself. Though when Naruto saw her for the first time, his jaw dropped. Her eyes told the whole story. Then right on her forehead was a seal he had seen in only one clan before. Since when do you have to be a Kugan? Rabbit white pupilless eyes widened as she realized her mask was gone. Narrowing her eyes, Rabbit slammed her head onto concrete. Looking around, she noticed the gloomy place she was in. Slowly lifting herself up, she clutched her head as the world around her spinned. She didn't pay attention to the fact that her mask had crumbled away. Then she looked Crow right in the eyes. Who are you? Rabbit quickly moved her hand to her face and noticed her mask was gone. Her hand unconsciously moved to cover the cursed mark on her forehead. She looked Naruto in the eye. Since when do you have to be a Kugan? Why didn't you tell us? Or was it just me? Demanded Naruto. Rabbit jaw tightened slightly and she answered, Only the captain and Tiger know about this, since they've been my teammates since I entered AMBU 2 years ago. Naruto was a bit dazed as he took a better look at Rabbit. But you're only 17? I thought you were much older. Rabbit, I twitched a little. Did you seriously think I was that old? You little disrespectful brat. Naruto suddenly composed himself and took off his broken mask. Then who are you? You are the most secretive of our team. Why keep your Byakugan a secret? Rabbit angrily looked at Naruto. How about your weird Sharingan? Why didn't you tell us about that? It's a forbidden technique. I wasn't supposed to know of it. So our superiors believed it best to be kept top secret. I had no choice, replied Naruto. But I believe you did. Rabbit slightly eased up and dropped her hand from her forehead. Naruto's eyes widened as he noticed a scar across her caged bird seal, I am. Flashback, a young girl giggled as she ran through the halls of a very elegant home. She turned the corner of the hall and nearly toppled over a younger boy. She moved gracefully and caught him in stride. Niji, watch out! The very young Niji looked up and smiled. Cousin, you want to play? I'm sorry. I can't right now. Today is the day I become an official member, replied the young girl. Niji mouth widened in awe. That's so cool. I wish I could get my Byakugan too. Then I could become one. You have to wait until you turn 8. Just like all members of the Hyuga clan, replied the girl. Niji pouted for a small second, and then the young girl raced off. Niji just waved to her as she ran down the hall. The young girl raced to the last door and opened it. Already inside were 2 other girls capable of achieving the Byakugan. Walking into she stood beside those 2 girls. Looking around the room, she was surprised at its size. The clan leaders of the main branch were all sitting in front of them. Then besides them stood a couple of the side branch members and some parents. Looking around, she smiled as her gaze fell on her parents. Her father was as stern as always, and her mother gave her a reassuring smile. Then suddenly the Hyuga clan leader, Hayashi, stepped forward. Thank you all for coming out today. Today we have 3 children that have reached the age in which they activate their Byakugan. Once you have activated your Byakugan, it's mandatory that you receive the seal that protects our precious bloodline. We will have the 3 kids step forward and present their Byakugan. Then they will receive the seal and become an official member. First, Yuna Hyuga. Please step forward, spoke Hayashi. The little girl stood even straighter up and walked forward. Right off the bat, I, Yuna Hyuga, accept the role as side branch member of the Hyuga clan. Yuna formed a ram seal. Byakugan. Nothing happened, and Hayashi gave Yuna a stern look. Don't play around. You are now becoming a member of the Hyuga clan. Yuna looked down and nodded her head. She tried relentlessly, but she could not activate her Byakugan. Her mother suddenly stood up concerned, and her father did the same. Hayashi looked down at the girl and activated his own Byakugan. It seems she can't activate her Byakugan at the ripe age of 8. Could she be a late bloomer? Time would have to tell, but we don't have time. It seems she can't activate her Byakugan, but we need to place the seal regardless. It's tradition to place the seal once one turns 8. Yuna's eyes widened in fear, as her father stood up in fury. You can't do that. If you place the seal now, then there will be no chance of her ever activating her Byakugan. She must have her Byakugan awaken in order for the seal to function properly. Hayashi looked at Yuna's father. I know that, but it's the rule to place the seal at the age of 8. If we don't, then we are putting the clan at risk. Yuna's father stepped forward. At the price of her future? We can place the seal later. Just wait for her to activate her Byakugan. I'm sorry, but I can't make an exception for her. Hayashi pulled out a sealing tag and placed it onto Yuna's forehead. On the tag was a much more complicated seal that would be sealed onto her. Yuna's father rushed forward to stop it, but a main branch elder activated his seal. Yuna's father slumped forward as he clenched his head. "Father!" yelled Yuna as she looked back. Then suddenly she felt the same pain on her forehead. Hayashi pulled at the tag, and the seal had moved onto her forehead. Then he signed a few more hand seals. Cage bird seal, Line Yuna stood in her home, sitting at the kitchen table, crying into her mom's shoulder. Her father suddenly walked in. Yuna raced to her father. "Dad, are you okay?" Her father didn't give her a glance. He just walked into his mother, grabbed Yuna, and held her tightly. "Don't let him get to you. He's only frustrated, that's all." Yuna's gaze fell. "He's mad at me because I was unable to activate my Byakugan." "No, it's not that. He's mad at the system of our clan. He's always been. He's mad at the fact that you won't get a chance to grow in our own clan techniques. He takes a lot of pride in our bloodline. I guess he's just mad that his own child won't be able to do the same," replied Yuna's mother. "But the problem was that I was positive that I activated it earlier. Why did it not work today?" Yuna looked up at her mother. "But I wanted to make him proud, and I failed." "Honey, we will always be proud of you, no matter what," replied her mother. Yuna sighed. "Okay, Line." A few months later, Yuna was racing once again down the hall. She had done the impossible and proudly carried a forehead protector in her hand. "I did it. I graduated in less than 2 years. Father," Yuna opened the door of her house and was happy to see her father sitting at the table. Her father moved quickly and tried to hide what he had on the table, though Yuna managed to get a glance of it. "Is that a kunai?" Her father gave her a weak smile. "What is it, Yuna?" Yuna forgot the kunai and smiled. "I did it. I graduated." Her father smiled. "Good. That's my little girl. How about we go out and celebrate? I'll treat you to anything. Is something wrong?" He's usually not this cheery. Maybe my early graduation has him excited, though, Yuna. "Okay, let me get ready." Yuna raced to her room to change, unaware that her father followed closely behind. Before Yuna opened the door to her room, she suddenly felt a sense of danger. Turning around, her eyes widened as she watched her father lunge at her with an oddly shaped kunai. Jumping back, she dodged the strike at her head. "What are you doing?" Yuna's father didn't reply, and he activated his Byakugan. Yuna's eyes narrowed. He isn't allowed to activate his Byakugan inside the Hyuga compound. What's going on? This isn't making any sense. Suddenly, 2 Hyuga members crashed through the door. "Kaze, Hyuga, you're under arrest for tampering with the cage bird seal." Yuna's father signed a few hand seals, and Yuna watched as the 2 members slumped forward. The main branch shouldn't have sent 2 side branch members to take care of me, especially since I've cracked all the secrets of the cage bird seal. Yuna fell onto her, but as she tried to move away, "What are you doing? Why are you attacking them?" Yuna's father smirked. "I'm wasting my time with this pathetic clan. Your eyes, Yuna, are the strongest pair of eyes I've seen in ages. I know that you activated your Byakugan earlier, Yuna. You think it was just an accident that you didn't activate it on the day of initiation? You've just been a pawn in my plans. Now, give me your eyes." Yuna's father ran at blinding speeds and made a slash across Yuna's cage bird seal. The oddly looked kunai glowed green, and Yuna felt a strong burning sensation on her forehead. Unaware to her, the mark on her forehead slowly begun to unseal, just leaving behind the outer shell of the cage bird seal. Yuna's father lifted the kunai and gave Yuna a sad smile. "I will be blunt. I never did like you." He brought down his kunai to kill her, but suddenly his left hand fell off. Yuna looked up and was shocked to see the yellow flash standing in front of her. "Kaze, Hyuga, surrender now, or I will have no choice to kill you. The fact that you have sold a few Byakugans to neighboring nations has marked you as a traitor," replied the 4th Hokage. Kaze growled. "So I have the honor of having the 4th Hokage in my presence. What a delight. To think a side branch member would have the honor." Minato sighed. "I'm not here because of your actions against the seal. I'm here because of your traitorous acts against not only to your clan, but the Leaf Village. To think that you would kill your own clan members in order to sell your precious blood limit. What's the point behind all that?" Kaze laughed hysterically. "You think I did this for money? No, I wanted to prove to the head clan that pathetic seal won't keep their blood limit safe forever. Then proving that the cage bird seal is pointless. It's only a way for the main to keep us as their slaves. I was going to be the one to change that, but I know that I can't defeat you, but the damage has been done." Kaze lifted the kunai and slammed it into his heart. Yuna's eyes just shaked widely as she stared at her father falling to the ground. Flashback, Yendi, even the Hyuga clan have had their own share of problems with traitors. It's shame that Yuna has to be the one to suffer because all of this. Just like Itachi and Shursui. Naruto thought silently before he looked up at Yuna. "I'm sorry. I guess you hate me because it was my father who killed your father." Yuna closed her eyes and reopened them. "No, I didn't hate you or your father. I just felt jealous." "Jealous? Of me? Why?" asked Naruto. Yuna sighed. "I envied your family. The family that was considered perfect by the whole Leaf Village. I always asked myself, why couldn't I have that? Then I got to meet you over this past month. And I can see the distance between you and your family. Even though you try your best to cover it up, I can see it." "How did she know?" Naruto's eyes widened and they slowly narrowed. "I guess you're right. That's when I noticed that you're really no different than me. The only difference was that you still have the chance to fix things with your family. And I guess that's why I also envy you," replied Rabbit. Naruto looked at Rabbit. I guess you couldn't be any more right. Let's go. Rabbit eyes slightly widened and looked around. Where are we, by the way? Naruto stood up and is right. I warped into an 8-rounded star. I told you it's a secret. Kamui, Line Yugao, and the rest of Team Eco stood at the rendezvous point. Yugao took a deep breath. If they don't show up in 5 minutes, we're going to have to proceed with our mission. So get ready to move out. Lizard stood up. Are you serious, Captain? We can't just leave them. Lizard, this is an S-rank mission. We must finish this mission. We don't know if Kyumo will try anything else. That is why it is important to get back to the village as soon as possible. Understand? Replied Yugao. Lizard cursed under his breath. We shouldn't have left them. That jutsu must have left Crow weak, and Rabbit wasn't exactly in perfect condition either. Panda slowly stood up from her sitting position on a tree. If only I hadn't got hurt, then things wouldn't have gone so out of whack. Tiger leaned against a tree with the girl on her shoulder. Don't go blaming yourself, Panda. Things would have ended up the same. Those 5 ninja were very strong. We were lucky we caught them off guard. Or else this battle would have dragged on even longer. Kat sighed as she looked up at the moon. Come on, Naruto. Suddenly the team with urgency, as they watched the air around them slowly shift. Then suddenly Rabbit and Naruto appeared in front of them. Naruto quickly pulled an extra mask from his backside and placed it on Rabbit's face. Rabbit silently thanked Naruto, and they moved in front of the group. Yugao smirked, and Lizard gave Naruto a smug look. I didn't think you were going to make it, rookie. Thought you might have died back there. Oh, shut up, Tiger. You were just crying about them a minute ago, replied Panda. The group let out a small laugh, and Yugao suddenly snapped her fingers. This isn't time for jokes, we have a mission to complete. The group looked down at the young girl, and Naruto looked at everyone. Let's go. Wait, why does Rabbit have your mask? Asked Panda. Hers broke, and I gave her my extra. Tiger and Cat both gave Naruto a concerned look, and Lizard gave him an odd look. We yours did too, and who carries an extra mask? Mine broke after I gave it to her, and it would just be rude to ask for it back, okay? Lizard smirked. Don't want to be rude. I see what you mean. Under the mask, Rabbit gave him a deadly look. I'm gonna kill you, Lizard, once we get back to the village. Enough. We are A and B, you stop messing around. Once we get to the village, I want Naruto to accompany me to the Hokage's office. So let's get moving. I want to get to the village before dawn, ordered Yugao. The group silently did what they were told, and went into a basic formation. Naruto meanwhile sighed. Great, Tsunade is going to give me another chat, just great. Line the Rakage sat at his desk, working away at his paperwork. This blasted paperwork. I can't stand it. The Rakage silently raged as he finished a stack. Looking around, he looked up the clock. Darui should have been back by now. What's going on? Suddenly, a Chunin messenger ran into the room. Rakage, I have news over Darui's squad. Finally, I want the girl to be brought here immediately. I'll then proceed to take her to the outskirts of the city to have the Jew dash Sir. The mission was a failure. The Rakage's fist slammed through his desk. What? The messenger cringed. It turns out that Konoha AMBU caught up to them and managed to retrieve the target. They killed the 2 special task force members you sent. What was Darui and Yujito doing? I sent a Jinchuriki and my best ninja for a reason. What happened? Demanded the Rakage. Suddenly Darui walked into the room. I can answer that, Lord Rakage. Darui, what happened? Asked the Rakage. Darui sighed. I'm sorry, but I couldn't do anything about it. One of the AMBU had the Sharingan, and his was a very weird-looking one. The important thing is that this ANBU managed to tame the beast inside of Yujito and control her. What? That's impossible, yelled the Rakage. I'm serious. This uchiha is very powerful. He controlled Yujito with just a glance to the eye. I think it would be wise to keep both Killer Bee and Yujito away from Konoha, replied Darui. The Rakage slammed his hand to the ground. How could this happen? This is going to cause problems with Kona. And now our two trump cards are useless, thought the Raikage. The Raikage looked out his window and watched as the sun slowly rose. He suddenly grabbed his desk and threw it out the window. Curse you, uchiha! Line Naruto stood alone in front of Tsunade's office. The rest of his team had already left, and he was now in the middle of a staring contest with Tsunade. Tsunade suddenly sighed and reached for her drawer. She pulled out a sake bottle and a small cup. Oh, Naruto, you sure complicate things. I'm not going to commend you for using your Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto's eyes widened a bit. You're not? Tsunade shook her head. I understand. You had no choice, and there seems to be no significant damage to your eyes this time. Then what's the problem? Tsunade looked at Naruto. You need to be more careful when you leave the village now. The world is going to know about you. The power to control a tailed beast is unheard of. I won't be surprised if you ended up in the bingo book before noon. They didn't see my face, replied Naruto. Tsunade suddenly spilled her drink. So? It's not too difficult to find a red-haired boy with Sharingan, because the last time I remembered you're the only one. So will this complicate my duties with Anbu? Asked Naruto. Tsunade sighed and pulled out Naruto's mission file. Usually it would, but after the recent attack, we are tight on shinobi as it is. As well, your time in Anbu has been perfect. Not a mission failed since your very first mission. Not a member killed in your squad. Even though it goes against protocol, you won't be exempt from Anbu. Naruto sighed. Can I go now? Tsunade nodded. Yes, Naruto bowed down and shunshined out of there. Suddenly Yugao walked out of the shadows. Why didn't you ask him about Yuna? We both now he knew something. Tsunade sat back in her chair and looked at Yugao. Naruto knows how to keep his mouth shut, especially when it involves a friend. I won't have to worry about that incident going public. What about Yuna? Will she be punished? I mean, she swore complete secrecy. Asked Yugao. Tsunade shook her head. I will let it slide this time, but I'll have a talk with her. I'm more concerned over her mental health. Mental health? Tsunade nodded. Maybe the reason she told Naruto was because she hasn't completely gotten over that harsh experience. Unknown to both of them, a small little crow was perched in trees outside. Line Naruto walked out of the AMBU barracks with much in his mind. I was never supposed to know about that incident. Yuna must have put a lot of faith in me in order to tell me what she told me. As Naruto got outside, he looked up straight at the sky. It's noon. Time sure does fly. I think that Haruka is supposed to get out in an hour. Naruto was about to shunshine when he suddenly felt a hand on his shoulder. Quickly turning around, he was surprised to look in the eyes of Yuna. Rabbit! Smack! Naruto's right cheek was bright red, as Yuna's hand slapped him in the face. What the he dash? You're not supposed to call me by my code name outside of AMBU, yelled Rabbit. Well, you don't have to slap me, roared Naruto. Rabbit crossed her hands and looked up. I just came to tell you that you better not speak a word about what I told you. Naruto rubbed his cheek and responded, I know. I'm not going to tell anyone. That's my promise to you, Yuna. Yuna sighed. Good. So what were you planning to do? I was planning to grab something to eat and then going to pick up my little sister, replied Naruto. Yuna looked down at Naruto. Wouldn't have imagined you playing the big brother. Well, you really don't know a person until you get to know them. Want to get a bite to eat? Do you really think I'm going to date a 13-year-old kid? I'm 17. No thanks, replied Yuna as she flipped her hair. A tick mark appeared on Naruto's forehead. A date? Like anyone would want to date some hag like you. Why, you little twerp? I'll kill you, yelled Yuna as she suddenly took a swing. Line Naruto set a small dango shop with a red welt on his right cheek. Yuna sat across Naruto with her hands crossed. Naruto grumbled. This better be the best dango in the world, because you smacked me twice. I said I was sorry. I'm just not good with people that make me angry, replied Yuna. Naruto sighed. She's obviously not too good with people. I guess this must be the result of what happened that day. Suddenly a woman walked over to them and let down 2 plates of dango. When the women left, Naruto looked at Yuna. Why did you tell me? Tell you what? Asked Yuna as she grabbed a piece of dango. Naruto looked down at his tray. I know what you told me was high classified information, so why trust me with it? Yuna stopped chewing her food and looked up at Naruto. Finishing the bite of food in her mouth, she spoke. I don't know. I just felt like I could trust you, because you never gave up on me. Never gave up on you. I admit I can be a bit of a pain, explained Yuna. A bit? Raged Naruto inside. Yuna continued. But unlike everyone else, you didn't just ignore me. You returned my taunts and challenged me at every corner. Then when I need you most, you were there to save me. I guess that was enough for me to see you as trustworthy. Naruto kept a straight face as he looked Yuna in the eyes. The pain in her eyes are probably as great as mine. I understand now. Since the moment she was born, she understood the feeling of being forsaken by one's father. Unlike me, she never did find that person to rely on, a person to help her stand back up. Maybe now I can be the person to help her stand up instead of the person needing the help. Naruto smirked. Sounds to me like you're getting soft. Don't let it get to your head. You're still a little twerp, replied Yuna. Naruto chuckled. Line _ 10 days later _ known location. A man ran down a very dark corridor until he reached the very end. As he reached the end, he opened the door into a cramped office. The office had maps, files, and scrolls scattered all over. Someone was working very hard behind the desk. The man stood straight up and begun talking. I have very urgent news. What is it? Came the voice of the person sitting from the desk. The man looked down at the person. We've gathered intelligence, very important information from Kumo. Spit it out already. I don't have time for this, ordered the person behind the desk. Someone from Konoha managed to completely tame the two-tailed beast of Kumo. I don't have much information, but it seems to be a young man that contains the Sharingan. The rumors are that this boy used the Sharingan to completely tame the beast inside of a Jinchuriki, and then proceeded to tame the Jinchuriki. Someone that can tame a Jinchuriki? Are you serious? This could be what we need, yelled the person. They suddenly stood up. I need you to prepare me a 3-man escort group to escort me. We are leaving tomorrow. Hi! The ninja disappeared, and the person sitting at the desk sat down. This could be the break we needed. Line _ 30 days after S-rank mission _ leave village, a 4-man group of cloaked shinobi stood at the entrance of Konoha. Naruto, along with 10 more AMBU, were watching the shinobi with great caution. They had come to the village, demanding an audience with Hokage. Suddenly Rabbit appeared next to him. What did I miss? About time you're here. As you can see, 4 shinobi have appeared at our door. They're demanding an audience with Lady Tsunade. So far, all they have managed is to send the Hokage a letter. It's not my fault. It was sudden. They called everyone who was in the village. Why so much attention? Asked Rabbit. Naruto's Sharingan was active as he stared at them. You should have noticed by now. We can't see or sense their chakra networks. Their cloaks have special seals that conceal them from our eyes. Rabbit activated her Byakugan. You're right. Line Lady Tsunade, shouted Shizen as she raced into Tsunade's office. What is it? Asked Tsunade. Shizen handed her a small letter. There's a group of shinobi demanding an audience with you. They sent this message. Tsunade looked at the letter. This better be good. As Tsunade opened the letter, her eyes widened. What? This can't be. Line Naruto watched as the group of shinobi were suddenly let through. Rabbit, we're heading out. Rabbit nodded, and they both moved behind the group. As they raced across the village, all the AMBU kept a sharp eye on them. As they reached the Hokage's office, Naruto and Rabbit reached the end of their stretch. Yugao suddenly appeared by them. Team Iko has been informed to go. You are all released of your duties for today. Naruto's eyebrow rose under his mask. What? Why allow strangers in just like that? Naruto and Rabbit looked at each other, and they both sunshine out there. Line Tsunade, Minato, Koharu, Hamuro, and Danzo sat in one room. As the 4 shinobi walked in, a figure walked in front of the rest. Tsunade narrowed her eyes. I must say I was kind of expecting you to come knocking around. Why would that be? Asked the cloaked figure. Danzo sneered. You obviously need the military help, and we are at the top when it comes to military strength. I guess you're right, and that's why I have come today, replied the leader. Minato stood there silently. Why don't you just take that ridiculous cloak off, Meitarumi? The red-headed woman under the cloak grinned. Well, you seem a bit different from the last time I saw you, Minato Namikaze. So, what do you want? Asked Tsunade. Mei smiled. As you know, I am Meitarumi, the leader of the Rebellion Army of the Mist. And what I want today is... Where's Crow? How am I supposed to know? Well, because you're always with him, Rabbit. Rabbit clenched her fist and turned to face Lizard. He's a friend, that's all, and he's way too young for me. So next time shut your trap, or I'll shut it for you. Lizard chuckled under his mask as he hid behind his old buddy Tiger. I was kidding. But seriously, where is he? Seriously, Lizard? You're probably the only one who doesn't know, replied Panda as she leisurely walked up to them. Before Lizard could talk, Cat also walked out of the shadows. I'll overlook the fact that you didn't pay attention to last week's meeting, and I'll tell you. We had a meeting. The thought rang through Lizard's head. Lizard chuckled. Sorry, Captain. It's just that I saw him earlier, but he just disappeared. Cat nodded. He got the day off, but since there was an emergency dispatch of all ANBU, he had no choice but to come. Why does he have the day off? Asked Lizard. Cat leaned against a locker and looked at Naruto's locker. For years from today, it happened. He wanted to go visit the Uchiha grave with the remaining clan members, since they're all still so young. Lizard stayed quiet for a second. I completely forgot. Today, for years ago, was the day the Uchiha massacre occurred. Line Naruto walked with urgency to his house. ANBU gear still on. That emergency dispatch really didn't need me, and now I'm going to be late. Great. Naruto sighed as he reached his back door. But who are those guys? Why were there so much secrecy behind them? In fact, I can't sense my father in the house. What's going on? Naruto groaned slightly, and he slid open his door. In an instant he was tackled and fell onto his back. Black hair impaired his vision, and a too familiar voice left a smile on his face. Where have you been, Naruto? Naruto chuckled, and to his assailant's surprise he poofed into a log. It's not nice to jump on people, Haruka, chuckled Naruto as he appeared behind Haruka. Haruka turned around and pointed her finger at him. It's also not nice to keep people waiting. Naruto smirked. So, where's everyone else? They're at the meeting place, replied Haruka. Naruto nodded. Give me a second and we'll head out there right now. Haruka crossed her arms. You have 5 minutes. We're already 25 minutes late. Naruto nodded. Don't worry, it'll only take me a minute. Quickly, Naruto rushed inside and changed as quickly as he could. Rushing back, outside, he nearly knocked over his own mother. Naruto. Sorry, Mom. I didn't see you there, replied Naruto as he barely managed to not hit her. Kushina sighed. It seems like you've been doing nothing but running since you joined ANBU. Maybe you should consider taking an extended break, honey. You won't be able to play with your soon-to-be sibling if you worn yourself out. Naruto stare suddenly fell onto Kushina's belly. After 5 months of pregnancy, it was difficult not to notice her condition. Naruto gave her mother a smile. Don't worry, Mother. I won't get worn out that easily. And the only way I'm going to be able to protect my soon-to-be sibling is by getting stronger. Naruto looked down at her belly. I can't afford to be weak anymore. I'm finally beginning to realize how powerful these Akatsuki members must be. Taking down one Jinchuriki nearly killed me and my team. To think a single pair is capable of taking one down is ridiculous. Kushina didn't miss Naruto's hardened gaze. He's been doing that a lot, ever since he joined ANBU. What are you thinking, Naruto? There won't be any need for that, Naruto. That's what your father and I are for. To protect you, your sister, and your soon-to-be sibling. There's no need to rush anything. replied Kushina. I don't know if you understand, Mother. The pain of not having enough strength and watching people die is unbearable. Flashes of Shursui and the third Hokage rang through Naruto's head, but he pushed them back. He looked back at his mother. Don't worry about me, Mom. I can handle myself and anything thrown my way. But Naruto? Naruto gave her a smile and headed for the door. I need to get going. I'll see you later at dinner. Kushina sighed. Fine, but this discussion isn't over. Naruto smirked. I didn't know we were having a discussion. Don't act dumb. Now hurry along before Haruka comes back in and drags you out, spoke Kushina. Naruto gave her a small wave and walked out. Line Mei smiled. As you know, I am Mei Terumi, and what I want today is... Minato's eyes widened as he interrupted Mei. Mei Terumi? As Mei of the Bloody Mist. The man next to Mei gritted his teeth, but he stayed silent. Mei merely smiled. I didn't know I was so popular. To think someone like the Yellow Flash knows my name. Tsunade narrowed her eyes. What is someone like her doing here? Doesn't she have a war to worry about? Of course she wants something. But what? I can't think of anything that could be beneficial to them. Why are you here and what do you want? Asked Danzo. Mei turned her attention to Danzo. He's going to be the most difficult one to convince. But if your reputation is as it is, he'll do anything to get this. Mei subconsciously moved her hand to her pocket, where a metal-rimmed scroll was. Mei simply looked at the five-leaf ninja. I'm aware that you Lady Tsunade are the current Hokage of the village, correct? Lady Tsunade gave her a silent nod, and Mei continued. Then I have come here to make a request. A request? What type of request? Asked Tsunade. Mei remained quiet for a moment before she continued. You know of our current situation? You mean your civil war. Then yes, I know of your current situation, replied Tsunade. I know that you are the head of the rebellious force in Kiri 2, as well that you're labeled in the bingo book as a high S-ranked ninja. Mei took a deep breath. Then you must have an idea of why I have come to talk to you today. I understand your position, Mei, but I can't afford to send our ninja out to fight your war. We ourselves just got out of a sticky situation, and can't afford to send out supplies either. Maybe in the end, Mei interrupted Tsunade. I don't want your supplies, but I don't exactly want any army either. I just want one thing. Tsunade narrowed her eyes. What is it? Mei looked around the table. I want the AMBU Black Ops member who managed to completely control the Two-Tails Jinchuriki of Kumo. Danzo had the urge to touch his bandaged eye. They want the power of the Sharingan. But for what? What are you talking about? Asked Minato. What AMBU member is she talking about, Tsunade? How did you? Tsunade closed her eyes in frustration. That was highly classified information. There's no way Kumo would publicize an embarrassment of that caliber. Tsunade reopened her eyes. Get your hands on such highly classified matter. Mei smirked. I see. So the rumors are true. You do have an AMBU capable of doing that. So here's where I'm willing to negotiate. Allow the AMBU to work for us. And once we win the war, we will become your allies. I can tell you current alliance with the Sand isn't exactly working out. Minato frowned. What AMBU could possibly control a Jinchuriki? The only one I could think of is... Minato's eyes widened. Absolutely not. We don't even know why you need him in the first place. As well, we don't know if you will win that civil war. The man directly to Mei's right spoke up. As I told you, my lady, the AMBU is most likely a he. Just as you guessed it, AO. Mei smiled more. I know that's why I'm willing to add something else to sweeten the deal. As for why I need him, I'll explain that next. Tsunade frowned. All right, talk. Didn't you wonder why we knew of this little AMBU? I bet you did. The fact is that we have a spy inside of Kumo. A spy that has information to a lot of highly classified stuff, spoke Mei. Danzo smiled. I see where you're getting at. In exchange for letting you use our shinobi, you will give us access to this little mole of yours. Mei took a deep breath. One down, Tsunade looked up at Mei. So not only do we get an alliance if you win, but we also get access to this little mole of yours? All right, now explain what you plan to do with our ANBU. Mei looked at Tsunade. The current Mizuki, as you know, is Yagura, the Jinchuriki of the three-tailed beast. Koharu, who had remained silent with Hamura, looked up. So if our ANBU can control a Jinchuriki, you would practically have victory in your hands. Mei continued. Yes, as you see, you don't really have much to lose. We don't intend to throw your ninja into suicide missions. So he really shouldn't die out there if he completes his assignment. But nothing is guaranteed in war, replied Minato. Mei sighed. That's true, but it's a gamble that you're more than certain to win. So what do you say? Asked Mei. I don't think we should. Tsunade, spoke Minato. Danzo sneered. What are you talking about? This is a great opportunity, and we must seize it. Tsunade. Tsunade merely crossed her arms and sat back. I knew he would cause me trouble sooner or later. Naruto, Kakashi, Ken, Haruka, Aiko, and Daichi all stood in front of the Uchiha graveyard. Having placed a flower on top of every grave, they were now just paying their final goodbyes. Naruto frowned. Once a clan filled with over 60 members is now reduced to 13, and 3 of them are barely even the age of 4. Kakashi looked glum. I can't believe it's already been 4 years. I know. It feels just like yesterday, when Aiko couldn't finish, as she begun to choke up on the tears she was trying to prevent from occurring. Naruto looked at Ken, Daichi, and Haruka, who were dead silent. Let's get going, guys. Maybe we could go get something to eat? I'm not hungry. In fact, I really don't want to do anything, replied Ken. Naruto sighed. I know it's hard, but I didn't want this to be a gloomy day. How about a little spar? It's been a long time since we have done that, suggested Naruto. Daichi frowned. What about me? Sorry, Daichi, you're still too young for a real spar, replied Naruto. When you're a little older, then sure, but not right now. Daichi crossed his arms, but Ken exploded. Yes, I will so defeat you. Then when I win, you're going to finally help train my Sharingan. I don't know, spoke Naruto with uncertainty. Aiko smiled. You're the most talented shinobi out of the Uchiha clan. I mean, you're an ANBU, and you're only 2 years older than me. Naruto frowned. I don't know, guys. All right, if you beat me, then I'll teach you all a Sharingan Genjutsu. Haruka frowned. What do I get? I don't even have the Sharingan yet. We'll think about, but let's go to a training ground, replied Naruto. Naruto was about to walk to one, when suddenly he was picked up off the ground. What are you doing? Haruka smirked. Well, knowing you would take all day, so we're going to give you a hand. Let me go. Line Tsunade looked at Mei. Fine, you have yourself a deal, but there will be a lot of conditions. You understand? Mei let out a deep breath, while Minato tried to hide his anger. What is she thinking? Naruto's only a kid. Tsunade gave Minato a quick glare, causing Minato to calm down a little. Minato sighed. I need to calm down a little. Tsunade is like a second mother to Naruto. She wouldn't act reckless with his life. I guess I'm dramatizing things a little, but still. Mei looked at Tsunade. I'm glad you said that, Tsunade, because now I'm more than willing to give you this. Mei pulled out the metal scroll from her pocket and gave it to Tsunade. In there are the several Byakugan eyes that were stolen from your village. I wanted to give it to you because we do not want to steal any of your Kekiai Genkais, but... Suddenly Ao stepped forward and took off his hood. Danzo gritted his teeth. It can't be. He has to be a Byakugan. Asked Tsunade, what's the meaning of this? Mei took a deep breath. He can't remove it, since there's a cursed seal on it. The seal is supposed to prevent anyone from stealing it, but he also can't remove it. It was placed upon him by the Mizuki when we still worked for him. In fact, the Mizuki is probably the only man that can remove it, and a few of his higher-ranking ANBU officials. Danzo stood up in anger. Then we should just kill him. I mean, if you seriously want to take our ninja, then you should just be as willing to meet our demands. I didn't know you had set any more demands, replied Mei as she stood firm. Tsunade sighed. This complicates things a lot. Tsunade had the great temptation to rub her temples as the elders begun to argue with each other. Tsunade crossed her arms. I guess that can be overlooked. Mei's eyes widened. Tsunade, you have taken me a bit by surprise. I came here expecting you to be a stubborn old hag, but you've been quite cooperative. For now, but is something that I assure can be handled. I'm sure Minato here could break that seal in a couple of days, replied Tsunade, but we can do that after you win your little war. Minato looked at Tsunade and nodded. I'm sure I could. Ao, who had been standing with his hood off, sighed. For a minute, I thought I would have to be the sacrificial lamb. This ninja is too important for us. I owe you, Lady Tsunade. Mei looked at Tsunade. Then would you mind taking us to this Anbu, or at least giving us his name? Tsunade looked at Minato, who had his eyes closed, looking at the three elders. She was sure she had made the right decision, but doubt still rang through her head. This alliance would mean a lot to us. Our alliance with the Sand is no longer solid. As well, even if our relationship with the Sand was to improve, having two alliances would put us in a very good position. But is it really worth it? I don't know what I would do if Naruto was too. No, I need to put my faith in him. Tsunade's gaze once again took a glimpse at Minato. I won't repeat their foolish mistake. I do not only trust your ability as a ninja, but I also trust the person you are, Naruto. Tsunade lifted her hand, and an Anbu appeared behind her. Mei narrowed her eyes. So you must be him. I was told your hair was red. The Anbu didn't reply, and simply handed Tsunade a folder. Tsunade placed a folder on her desk and looked at Mei. That is not the Anbu you are looking for. In this file is the information of Naruto Uzumaki. Mei gave her an odd look. Uzumaki? But the only Uzumaki I've ever heard of is Kushina Uzumaki, but she's now married to... Minato interrupted Mei. His real name is Naruto Namikaze. He's my son. Line Naruto smirked as he stood in front of a line consisting of Haruka, Ken, Katashi, and Aiko. Daichi was standing off to the side. Naruto then pulled a scroll from his back pocket and unscrolled it on the ground, quickly unsealing the items inside. 5 ninja pouches and 5 kunai hustlers appeared. I'm glad I brought this. Now we can have a full blown-out spar. Naruto smiled more as he watched Ken and Haruka go crazy over the stuff. I can't believe it. We aren't allowed to keep this much sharpened kunai or shuriken until our final year, spoke Haruka with excitement. Ken added, with this I will totally wipe the floor with you, Naruto. Katashi simply moved over and strapped on the gear. Ken, how do you expect to defeat Naruto if you get excited by simple things as sharpened kunai? You're not one to show much emotion, Katashi, but I know you're as excited as me. You're just itching to use real weapons, teased Ken. Aiko shook her head. I can't believe they're getting excited over simple kunai and shuriken. It's different for them, Aiko. You and me grew up with this stuff. Now that we're even further down an era of peace, the village just wants them to enjoy life. That's why they make you attend the academy for 6 years instead of 3, replied Naruto. It's quite normal for them to get excited over real weapons. Aiko grabbed her equipment and looked at Naruto. I guess that makes sense. Suddenly, Ken smacked his fist into his hand. All right, Naruto. I'll be the first one to spar you. No, I will. Haven't you heard of ladies first, Ken? Wait, I forgot you're not a gentleman, insulted Haruka. Ken looked at Haruka. You a lady? Ha! I've seen Katashi act more girly than you. You blockhead. Who are you trying to insult, Haruka or me? Pointed out Katashi. Haruka crossed her arms. It's not my fault that Katashi is such a sissy. Hey, I didn't say anything to you, spoke Katashi. That's enough. I'll decide who goes first, spoke Naruto. Haruka was suddenly on Naruto. Of course Big Brother is going to pick his favorite sister in the world. Naruto sighed as he flicked Haruka in the forehead. Ow. Stop doing that. I'm not 5 years old anymore. I'm 8. You sure act like it, thought Naruto. Haruka, you will be going against me first. Ken and Katashi groaned as Aiko puffed her cheeks. Of course he picks his favorite. Geez, I didn't know they were jealous of Haruka, thought Naruto. with everyone else. What? Yelled the four. Naruto smirked and pulled out a small orange scroll. This spar is actually more of a game. Well, a deadly game. What is it? Asked Kakashi. Naruto twirled the scroll in his hand. You four need to take this scroll away from me. You can use taijutsu, genjutsu, ninjutsu, or any weapon you choose. Since I doubt you know much over the three main ninja skills yet. So we can use our Sharingan? Asked Ken. The Sharingan is a weapon, so yes, replied Naruto. Aiko's eyes suddenly flashed into a two-tomo stage, but it's still unfair. You have a fully matured one. Naruto gave a crude laugh. What's so funny? Asked Haruka. You actually think I need my Sharingan to fight you for? Aiko might push me a little, but 3 academy students? Come on, be more realistic, replied Naruto. Fire burned in Ken and Haruka's eyes, and Kakashi gave a more serious look. We'll make you regret those words, roared Ken and Haruka. Naruto gave them a more serious look. If you want to take the scroll, you better come with the intent to kill me, or don't attack me at all. Those words silenced the 3 academy students, while Aiko remained unfazed. Naruto put the scroll in his back pocket. When I say start dash, Naruto cocked his head to the left and dodged a trio of shuriken. Didn't even let me finish. Typical of Kodash, Aiko? Naruto's eyes widened slightly as Aiko charged at him. Ken, Kakashi, and Haruka were all left dumbfounded at Aiko's sudden attack. Aiko threw a kunai straight at Naruto. Naruto simply moved to the left, and Aiko engaged him. Aiko attempted to land a few strikes, but Naruto dodged with ease. Naruto attempted to move back, but Aiko threw a quick left hook right into his face. Naruto moved quickly to catch her left hook, but to his surprise she threw a right kick to his face. Naruto smirked and caught it with his left hand, a little slow Aiko. Aiko grinned and pulled out through shuriken. Let's see you dodge this. Aiko with her free hand threw the 3 shuriken at Naruto's torso. Naruto's eyes widened in shock as the 3 shuriken cut into his gut. Naruto? How could you, Aiko? Yelled Haruka. Ken and Kakashi quickly activated their one-tomo Sharingan. There's no way. Aiko cursed silently, and she jumped back. To the shock of the other 3, they watched as Naruto's body fell in slow motion. Aiko whirled around and ended up facing to her right. I know you're there. Haruka looked confused. Who is she talking? Suddenly the image in front of her started to distort, and Naruto was shown standing there. Naruto smiled. I'm impressed. You saw through that genjutsu faster than I anticipated. When did you notice? Aiko took a deep breath. The moment when you caught my fist. Your style of fighting doesn't consist of catching punches. You really on speed, and using your opponent's momentum against them. Impressive. You've passed lesson 1. Genjutsu, replied Naruto. Are you ready for the next lesson? How about we move on to lesson 2? Taijutsu, suggested Naruto as he entered a fighting stance. Ken spoke out. How about we move on to lesson 3? Ninjutsu. Ken. Haruka. Okay, yelled Ken and Haruka. In unison, Ken, Haruka, and Kakashi weaved through the same hand seals. Fire release. Fireball jutsu. Naruto begun to weave his own hand signs. He admired their little collaboration jutsu. If that hits me, it's probably going to hurt. Water release. Water trumpet jutsu. To the 3 Academy's surprise, Naruto fired a very powerful water jet and completely annihilated their jutsu. A sense of danger ran through Naruto as he looked in the direction of Aiko. Fire release. Fire Phoenix jutsu. Naruto's eyes widened as 5 rather large ones hurled at him. They're quite big. Quickly moving through some hand seals. Water release. Water wall jutsu. In an instant, a wall of water exploded from the ground. As the wall covered Naruto's view from Aiko, he watched a grin creep onto her mouth. She's grinning. Her jutsu collided into the water wall, and to Naruto's surprise, 5 Fuma Shuriken exploded through the water. Not only did she combine her Shuriken with the Fire Phoenix, she managed to combine them with Fuma Shuriken. She might be as good as Sasuke, when it comes to weaponry. Naruto prepared to duck under one, and his eyes widened in shock. Whoa! There's no way he can dodge it now, spoke Ken as a Sharingan managed to catch a glimpse of Aiko's trick. I can't believe Aiko has grown this much, added Katashi. Aiko smirked. Shadow Fuma Shuriken Jutsu. She had a second one in the shadow of each one, thought Naruto as he was in midair. The shuriken are moving in a pentagon formation, so by the time one noticed that they wouldn't be able to dodge it, too bad Naruto pulled a kunai and 2 shuriken. He thrust a kunai into the center of the bottom, leading Fuma Shuriken. Using his 2 shuriken, he threw them at the outside bottom Fuma Shuriken and deflected them off course. Naruto grabbed onto his kunai and twisted the Fuma Shuriken around and threw them at the back too. Naruto then simply rolled under the 5 original ones. He dodged them all, yelled Ken, and he didn't even use his Sharingan. Aiko's was left with her mouth open. Naruto rolled himself up and took a deep breath. I must say that was very close shave, but I can tell that took a lot of your chakra, Aiko. You not only combined your Shuriken Jutsu and Fire Jutsu, but you managed to even add in a Shadow Shuriken Jutsu, all while having your Sharingan activated. That must take a toll. Naruto sighed and quickly jumped back. A barrage of kunai and shuriken embedded the spot he had just been standing. You guys are a bunch of rude brats. I don't see you interrupting Sasuke, Miyuki, or even Izuru when he's around. To Naruto's surprise, Ken, Katashi, and Haruka jumped in front of Aiko. Aiko, you need to stop attacking by yourself. We now know that won't be enough to take him down, spoke Katashi. Haruka nodded. We need to work together if we're going to take down Big Brother Naruto. So our best bet is to take him down as team because there's no way we're losing to him again, added Ken. Aiko gave a small smile. Sorry, guys. It's just that I thought I had opening, but our next attack will be together. Naruto gave them a smile. I guess they're finally understanding the true purpose of this drill. Without warning, Naruto activated his Sharingan and looked to the right and left. Someone's here. No, I can sense 7 chakra signatures. Naruto's head cocked to his right, where Daichi was sitting. Daichi, get over here now. Everyone suddenly turned to Daichi, who had been sitting not too far away. Daichi, not wasting a second, quickly begun to run to Naruto. That's when Naruto saw a shadow creep up behind him. Who is that? What's going on? Asked Aiko. Naruto didn't answer, and he quickly unsealed the executioner's blade from the seal on his wrist. In what looked like an instant, he shunned shine between Daichi and the intruder and slammed the blade in between them. Line Yoyer's son? But how exactly does he control the tailed beast? I believe the shinobi had the Sharingan, asked Mei. He does, replied Danzo as he closed his good eye. Minato sighed. The Namikaze clan are considered the cousin clan to the Uchiha. It's extremely rare for a Namikaze to actually unlock the Sharingan. So rare that the only recording we have of this happening is during the Warring Clan era. Mei nodded and took the file. Her eyes widened as she looked up at Tsunade. He's only 13? He'll be 14 in a few weeks, replied Tsunade. Is that a problem? Mei frowned. I thought he would be at least 16. I never imagined someone so young. What a waste of time, spoke one of the cloaked figure. Akane, don't be rude, spoke the third cloaked figure. Chojuro. Akane, I told you to stay silent, spoke Ao. Akane took of her hood and revealed the identical auburn hair of Mei Terumi. The only difference was that her hair was much shorter and only went as far as her mid-back. Unlike Mei, her bangs didn't hide her face and actually revealed her whole face. Well, I think it was a waste of time if we came to get a little kid to babysit. I thought this Anbu was supposed to be a real shinobi. You're a fool to underestimate young Uzumaki, spoke Danzo. It's a shame I was unable to drag him into Root. He had as much potential as Itachi. But just like Itachi, he has become a loose end. Mei slammed her foot. That's enough, Akane. I think that it would only be wise if we test him. Make sure he is up to the challenge, responded Akane. Mei glared at Akane. We didn't come here to pick a fight. We came here to get the help to win our war. I must agree with Akane, milady, spoke Ao as he took a look at the file. We don't have information, and we're risking a lot by just being here. It would only be wise if we test this boy, added Ao. Tsunade looked at Ao. How exactly do you propose doing that? What exactly would you want to test for? Make sure he doesn't die during an unexpected battle, or at least handle himself. I don't want to be babysitting some brat, spoke Akane. Mei growled, That's enough, Akane. Silent. I can assure one thing, Mei. At least he can follow orders, snickered Minato. That caused a small rise from Akane, but one glance from Mei silenced her. Before anything else could be spoken, Tsunade spoke. Fair enough. We'll give you this little challenge, but let's make this a bit more interesting. How about you have those 3 guards of yours go against him, Mei? He's signed up for training ground for right now, and is probably training or something. Your 4 shinobi will launch a sneak attack, and have 10 minutes to take him down. If your guards can take him down in less than 10 minutes, I will completely overlook Ao's Byakugan. I won't even require him to remove it after you're done with your little war. Are you serious? Asked Ao. Mei narrowed her eyes. I guess the rumors over your gambling issues are true. What happens if we lose? Tsunade ignored the insult. We received the 3-tailed beast inside of Yagura. Mei's eyes widened. That's quite the gamble. You have 10 minutes to take down one shinobi, spoke Tsunade. Let's spice things up a bit. We'll have a barrier team surrounding the training ground, so he won't be allowed to get too far away. A slick move, Tsunade. Never thought you would be so bold. Is your confidence in this boy that high? Or isn't simply the legendary sucker talking? Danzo grinned. It's not every day I agree with you, Tsunade. So, what do you say, Mei? Minato gave them both a crazed look. Are you serious, Danzo? The odds of Naruto winning, that is quite low. I'm not saying he's not skilled, but taking on 3 ninja whose skill are unknown isn't an easy feat for anyone. You have yourself a deal. If your AMBU defeats my 3 shinobi, we will gladly turn over the 3-tailed beast. Though if we win, you'll overlook Ao's Byakugan, spoke Mei. Tsunade stood up. Follow me, lined Tsunade, Mei, and Minato were standing at the edge of training ground 4. Hiding in the trees, they were watching Naruto go at it with the younger Uchiha. Mei looked at the small spar going on. What about the other 3? The 2 elders won't come, and I'm sure Danzo is watching from somewhere else. He wouldn't miss this, explained Tsunade. Suddenly their attention was caught by the rather large fireball that the 3 academy students managed to launch. That's a pretty impressive collaboration jutsu for someone their age. It's nice to see the Uchiha clan recovering quite nicely, added Mei. Tsunade smiled. Yeah, it's been all thanks to Naruto. There might only be about a dozen left, but he's done a great job uniting them. Thanks to him, they really united as a family. Minato remained poised. Naruto, you sure have grown into a fine young man. It's hard to believe you did that all on your own. Suddenly an AMBU appeared next to Minato. Lord Yondaime, the 4 AMBU are in position. Thank you, Bear, spoke Minato. I'll be in position, and once the fighting starts, we'll activate the barrier. They watched as Minato put on a mask and vanished in thin air. Mei nodded. Oka dash, Daichi, get over here now. Mei looked over and watched as Naruto unsealed the executioner's blade. Is that Zabuza's dash? Asked Mei as her eyes widened. Tsunade nodded. Yeah. A couple months ago, Naruto's team ran into him and his apprentice. Haku? Asked Mei. Tsunade sighed. Yeah, I think that was a name. Naruto's team engaged him in a fight, and right when his sensei was about to land the killing blow on Zabuza, Haku sacrificed himself. I can't believe they're dead, interrupted Mei. Tsunade nodded. In the end, Naruto managed to change Zabuza's viewpoint on Haku. It left such an impact on him, so he decided to take Zabuza's sword as a memento of both of them. Mei smiled. Well, I'm glad that before Zabuza died, he finally managed to abandon those foolish ideals of his. Tsunade looked at Naruto. He hasn't sensed us, but he instantly managed to sense the barrier team and your shinobi. In fact, once you're in Naruto's range, it's very difficult to get past him. Why are you telling me all this? A Kage would want to keep all their shinobi skills a secret, asked Mei. Tsunade shook her head. I told you about Naruto's encounter with Zabuza for a reason. He heard about the bloodline purges in your country. One of the first things he did when he came back from that encounter was ask me about it. Then he asked my no one ever did anything to help. What did you say? Asked Mei. Tsunade looked forward. I told him that it was none of our business. Want to know what he told me next? What? Tsunade looked at Mei. He told me that it was his business, and that one day he would change all of that. That's probably why I accepted your offer in the first place. His words rang through my head during our little meeting. Naruto has proven me and everyone else wrong and wrong again. So now I honestly believe that Naruto is capable of doing exactly that. Mei remained silent. Then Tsunade turned serious. I purposely placed him against 3 highly skilled shinobi because I wanted you to see the true power behind his Sharingan. I told you there would be conditions. Here's the first one. You are never allowed to talk about what you see today. Mei looked at Tsunade. Does this have to do with how he controlled the 2 tails? The Mangekyo Sharingan. Tsunade nodded her head. You'll see soon enough. Thank you for watching part 5 of What If Naruto Was Neglected by His Family and Had the Strongest Sharingan? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to AnimeT23 for more exciting What If scenarios and anime content. Hit the notification bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next episode.